Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you here. Hopefully, you're hearing me. I have a new audio set up, so I'm sure I'm going to have to work my way through it. And hopefully, you guys will be able to help me out and let me know what's working and what's not working. Nevertheless, let me go over here and hit that like and share. See if we can get a few of you in here to help out. I have a new audio set up, so let's. I can see that my voice is coming through, which is good. However, I'm not hearing any feedback in my head, and I've been in my headphones. I've been trying to figure out what that is, but I can't seem to fix it. I know with the other headphones, they had like a button I could hold, and it would reset it, and it would work. But these new headphones don't have anything like that I can see. But nevertheless, I'll work it out eventually. Of course, with new stuff like that. But we are going to be getting into a bunch of stuff that's going on. There are a lot of movies that are coming, and these movies seem to be having some more interesting things in them for people, and people seem to be getting excited. Hail Mary, of course, Ryan Gosling movie came out, and it seems to be doing pretty well, although it does need to put $200 million in its pocket, from actual profit to be any good. I sound like a completely different person, but clear. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Do I sound bad? That would be nice. I can hear. I tested. The mic is definitely working as far as you guys hearing it. I just can't hear anything in my headset, and I don't know why that's doing that. Everything seems to be working on the top end. Let me make sure I have everything on the other side, because I got everything seems to be set up correctly. It still has the name of my old stuff, though. So it's kind of weird because it still says HyperX, because that's the old headphone system I was using. But when I click on it, of course, it says the device is, what I'm using. So I'm not really sure what is going on with all that. But at least you guys can hear me, and it is clear. And of course, everything else is unchanged. Should be fine. I don't have anybody in here to interact off with as far as in mic over here to see how audio is coming into my headset that way. It should be fine though. Oh, it sounded like, well, I do have this set in broadcaster mode. These headphones are the A20X light speeds from Logitech, and they're supposed to be really good all around. And I use them just testing on a video game, and they are nice as far as the audio, because I mean, the every little footstep you can hear, birds in the background, it's very clear. So they're good headphones as far as that. I just can't hear anything in them now. I can only hear myself speaking, and it's a little. If you ever had that problem, it's a little disorienting. But these aren't as tight as the HyperX were, and therefore, it is a little easier to hear myself. But of course, it's not good. I need to figure it out. But at least it sounds good. At least it's coming through. So, like I said, I'm not really sure what the problem is. But so I'm just going to sit here and do the best I can and try to figure it out and get this dialed in here. So let's see here. I kind of got the troubleshooting on to see if it can help me out as far as that's concerned. You can hear my nose hairs. Okay. Troubleshooting audio problems. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. It says, can we test your system? Okay. So you tell me if everything just kind of shuts off on me, because I am getting this thing to help me out. No? Ah, okay. Well, I got AI on my Microsoft now. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? When did that happen? Okay. It said it did something, but nothing changed. Yay. Okay. Huh. So how you doing, Alan? How are things? Why don't you jump in over here and help me out, dude? You're the only one that's here. Yeah, I think you guys probably had some time change or something like that. Is the issue, but of course I don't have any control over that. If you could jump in here with me, I'd appreciate that. Try to help me figure this out because I can't hear anything on this side because I don't have anybody here. Huh. Hmm. All right. Well, I'm not really sure. But nevertheless, I'll just go on with it because you guys can hear me fine. And I've already tested all that. That's all working. It's just I can't hear it in my head. So I'll just go on. But nevertheless, we do have a lot of stuff to talk about today. And the Hail Mary movie, like I said in the opening, is doing pretty well. It's getting a lot of hype, and it did make some money. It's not like blockbuster money, but it did have a fairly good opening weekend. This being the second weekend, and I guess Ryan Gosling has come out and made certain statements that he's basically confirming that Hollywood's the one that kind of screwing everything up with their nonsense. But he also kind of said it's not really our responsibility to save the movie theaters. Our responsibility is to make movies that people want to watch. And fair enough. That's that is something that is helpful to know. Let me make sure Alan can actually come in here. Let me see. Because I know I usually speak to Alan on the other channel. All right. Yeah, I don't see him over here yet. I don't know if you're in this channel, Alan. I can invite you. Let me go do that. Huh. Well, let me jump over to the other channel because I know you're in there somewhere. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Here, I just sent you an invite, I think, for the other side here. There you go. Okay. And let me go ahead and type in something, Alan, real quick. Yeah, you should be able to jump into the live, no problem. Of course, you've been having mic troubles too. We'll see how that works out. There you are. Your mic is muted, by the way. So, yeah, he's been having mic troubles of his own. So this should be a very interesting experiment. Yeah. Yep. So I don't see anything popping up with him trying to make noise. So maybe he just can't make noise. Let's come over here and make sure, though, because, you know. Oh, there you are. I can hear you now. Yeah, you're quite clear. Yeah. I can hear you no problem, and you guys can hear me no problem. I just can't hear anything in my headset, dude, and I don't know what the hell that is. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. You sound very good today too. Nor you've been having trouble. Mm. And that might well be true. But it just depends on the computer. Do you have a good system, or are you working with a potato? Fair. EMs are better. EMs are better. It's so weird, dude, because like I said, when I use the headphone to try out on a video game, it's beautiful. Sound is killer. You sound great. The mic works really well. Of course, I bought this because they said the mic is really excellent for the price. It is like a mid-range headphone set, right? So everything's working wonderfully, and it's wireless, so I don't have that damn thing dangling around my neck. But I just can't hear anything in the headset, and I don't know what it is. I've checked a bunch of stuff, and I don't know. It's really weird because it works just fine as far as listening. I just can't get. I'm just gonna have to go troubleshoot it and ask Grok 1,000 times until it gives me the right. Because I went and asked it, but then I went and did what it said, and none of that was available. So, you know, myself. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I can hear myself because I'm speaking, but it's diminished because I got headphones on my head, right? So I guess if I just kind of pull one headphone off to the side a little bit, it's fine. But it's not optimal, right? No, I don't think so. Now I do have this option here, which says that I can. It does have a thing which allows you to mode over to voice being more prominent when you're doing gaming. It has this like a rocker toggle on the side but that doesn't. That's not helping either. So I don't know. I don't know. whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll just go with it. I mean, because I can. Everything else is functioning. So, yeah. Anyway, how are you? Well, you just never came in, I guess. As far as in here, right? In the chat, sure. Yeah. Well, I think, yeah, I think you guys had a like a time change or something, right? Yeah, some weird thing. I really wish they would just get rid of that. And they always talk about it, but they don't do it. It's so outdated. It's so archaic. We don't need it at all. And especially with these guys and their whole global, global everything. You would think they would got rid of that. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, well, politicians do like cheating. That is fair enough, isn't it? Yeah. No. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're all a bunch of assholes. That's 100%. It just comes down to which asshole do you want to pick, right? I mean, is it the assholes that think that the more money you have means the more money they get, or the assholes that want all your money? I mean, it's a pretty easy choice, really. It's not hard. Probably not. I mean, there's so many psyops. They're constantly trying to. Their propaganda is a thing. It's not a. That's not a conspiracy theory. But there's so many things to get you to think this way or that way. And one thing is definitely true: the elite, the upper people with all the money and power, they believe in magic and shit, dude. They absolutely do. It is. It is. And they're constantly, casting these spells, these numerological spells. And they're constantly doing that kind of stuff. And it's like for the rest of us, if you're paying attention, you notice them doing this. It's like, well, do they know something we don't know, or are they just a bunch of weird religious freaks? You know? I'm sure. Or, make it work for you, in your favor. Um, Yeah, no, it's that is true. But I also know because sometimes I'll watch, or my wife will watch these things of people seeing weird videos and then overreacting to them. You've seen these, and a lot of times I see stuff that they're reacting to that's so incredibly mundane, right? It's like I saw a bunch of people seeing a meteor streak across the sky, and they're like, "Oh my god, what is that? Is the world ending?" It's like, dude, it happens every day. Chill. Especially July and October. Just go out in the night, sit down. You're going to see shooting stars because we're going through the toward meteor belt, right? And it's like, relax, dude. I mean, really, that's might be a part of the problem. But I also see a lot of stupidity and just people who don't really seem to understand anything. The education level is definitely declined. It's that's not old man speak, right? Because a lot of times, like, oh, the old man back in my day, no, it's not. It's not the situation. They've just degraded. I know maybe it's just more exposed now than it was before. Maybe that's it. Because we have so much access now. It could be that. But Yeah, it is crazy, dude. But there are weird things. I've seen weird things. Did I tell you my ghost story? Yeah. It's one of those things I can't explain, and I'd love someone to explain it to me. But I was talking to my parents on Skype, something I would do like every, maybe once or twice a year, right? And my parents were just lying in bed because they had a laptop, right? And they put the laptop at the foot of the bed, and they were just talking, and we were having a conversation. And I'm just talking to my parents, and some lady walked up on the left side of the screen. She just walked in and leaning over like she was talking to my mother. And I simply asked, I mean, who's this lady? Just randomly walked into the shot, right? Figure it was my family is enormous, dude. Hundreds of people. I'm not even kidding, right? So I figured it was just some cousin I'd never seen, second cousin, third cousin, something like that. And I asked her, and she said, and then she just asked, does she have long, straight brown hair? And I'm like, yeah. Is she wearing a plaid shirt? And I'm like, yeah. And then she asked another question, I think about her pants or something like that. And I'm like, Ma, well, I don't need to go over the description. I just want to know who the lady is, right? And she said, oh, that's my ghost. And I'm like, what? And I thought she was, of course, my mother doesn't joke, but, I thought she was trying to be funny or something. And I said, come on now. Just tell me who the lady is. And I asked my dad, who was sitting right there. He's laying out on the bed. And he says, no, there's nobody here. Says, what are you talking about? And then he goes to say that she always had trouble seeing ghosts, and that he doesn't see anything, but he hears things sometimes that are weird. And I'm like, what the hell is happening right now? Right? Yeah. No one said this to me. No one mentioned anything to me but about that. And of course, I'm not a person who is so easily swayed. And the lady actually a couple of times looked right in the screen at me, right? Right at me. And then walked off screen and didn't see her again. But I'm like, okay, well, how do you explain this, right? Because it was a random conversation. It was nothing about ghosts at all. It was just talking to my parents. And I just simply asked, who's this lady? Now, the interesting thing is, of course, I'm seeing her through a camera, one. Two, she was just clear as day, normal human. There was nothing ghostly about her at all. So how do I explain that? I mean, I'm at an impact. That's true. Yeah. 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 Well, you know, yeah, I have two. Right. Is it? Yeah. Well, I mean, because I have seen things throughout my life, but I always dismissed it as this or that. I never took it seriously. And so I just never put any stock in it. But that single event had to make me rethink things because, I mean, what the hell, dude? Right? Because I mean, there's no way around it. You can't give it a reason why that happened, right? You can't sit and say, well, this because of this or that. No, no. So therefore, my question is, why aren't we seriously investigating these things? Why don't we put money toward all kind of ridiculously stupid things? So why don't we put money toward that, right? Why don't we figure out what that is? What is going on with that? You would think we would, because obviously there's something going on. So let's figure it out, right? But no, it's weird, dude. Yeah, lithium, one of the most polluting things we do. Yet the echo people scream and yell. It's funny. Oh yeah, I bet that's true. That is true. But of course, then that brings up all the other strange things. Like I said, sometimes I do see these videos, particularly this black guy. I don't really know the name of the channel, but there's a black guy that pops up in my feed every now and then, and I watch him, and mostly he's just ignorant and just doesn't know stuff. Is mostly what it is. But it is interesting to see the reaction because I don't know. I've just studied too many things, and I understand that. So, what I consider mundane and what other people consider mundane is not the same, I guess. Right? So you know what it is. I see Grimlock popped in, but he's still muted and he's not talking to me. So there's that. He, yeah. Well, all that's working. The Bluetooth, I'm not using that. I could switch over to Bluetooth because I use the Bluetooth on my well, it's kind of like a laptop computer, and that was working just fine. But it's still there was nothing in the headphone because there was no mic, right? No one. I'm not talking to anybody. So, you know, uh, that is true. But yeah, I'm having trouble, dude. I can't hear anything in my headphones, dude. Everything else is working fine, but I can't. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, everything's working. I just can't hear anything. Let's see here. No, no, that's not. It's not doing anything. Let me. This has got a settings thing though. Can I do something with that? So let's see here. These are brand new. Yeah, brand new. Um, so the default is this. And am I? You still hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. As I'm sitting here clicking on stuff. How about now? Can you still hear me? Yeah. Well, I am messing with stuff. Now it does have this thing. It says A20X chat. Let me try that. Can you still hear me? Huh. I'm coming in clear. You said. Yeah. No. Everything seems to be working. Let me just switch everything over to this chat thing and see if it if everything's on that. No, doesn't seem to matter. Streamlabs. What is that? Oh, okay. Let's see what this does. It shouldn't matter though. It should have nothing to do with it. Yeah, whatever. I just have to go and just yeah. I don't know. It's always something in it. But these do work well when I can hear. Because you guys sound great. So and Ari, you're a bit louder than Alan though for some reason. Well, I guess that's fair. Well, I think the problem is he was set at 200%. So go ahead and talk now. Oh, there you. Yeah, you're fine now. Yeah, I just had you for some reason doubled your volume. But anyway, you have any ghost stories or paranormal experiences there, Grimlock? Right. Yeah. No, I know. That's why I always ignored it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Right. Pay attention. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sitting here. I'm deep inside the little. It's funny when you're doing stuff on modern internet and you have to drop back in the DOS. Anyway, I'm sorry. Keep going. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Sure. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Can you guys still hear me? I'm doing weird stuff. You can. Right. Right. No, I mean, I've heard a lot of stories and I've had stuff happen to me, but we're kind of taught to not believe anything. It's weird. Our society is like, no, no, don't. That's all. You're stupid. It's embarrassing. And, but, maybe we should be paying a little more attention, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Right. Well, yeah, no, I get you. Well, I have a, I've got it working now. I can hear myself, but there's like a, I don't know, a 30% of a second delay, and it's worse. Yeah. So, how am I going to, how do I fix that? Yeah. Okay, great. So, next search on the internet. And here we go. Keep going. I'm having fun. Goodness gracious. Well, it seems to be like that though. Yeah. 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 No. I, all right. Yeah, I just reset my system and it's working. Isn't that interesting? Turn it on, turn it off. Huh. All right. I'm sorry. I'm good now. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, now this button is working too. Oh, dude. All right. All right. This thing rocks. This is a good headphone, dude. It's got so many cool little features. All right. Anyway, I guess it's slightly still delayed, but hardly. Anyway, so yeah, that's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have to go fix that. It said it's the codexes, whatever that means, are not the same. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't come in today with the intention of talking about ghosts, but here we are. Yeah. But there are other things though that definitely can get people's attention. Talk a little bit for me because I'm trying to get balance. All right, so you guys are lower, and I'm way loud in my head. All right, let's see here. Now I can't. Oh, wow. It can get to the point where I can't even hear myself. Go ahead and say something. Yeah, you guys are very low now. Oh, damn it. Yeah, no, I fixed it. It's all right. I can hear you now. This delay is going to drive me nuts, though. Oh, yeah. So basically, oh, this is going to drive me crazy, dude. I can't. I got to have fixed that. No, the delay is bothering me like unbelievable, dude. But is there anything I can do about that? No, I don't know. It could be. Maybe let me go over and check this real quick. Hold on a second. If I switch that over there, that is a little bit better. All right. That is better. Okay.
Huh.
Huh. So I was doubling up or something? All right.
Oh, that's my.
Whatever. Yeah, I'm just trying. This is a weird stream. I'm trying to figure things out. Let me come over here and it's still in delay. Oh God, it's so frustrating. Anyway, I'll have to fiddle with this offline. Yeah. So some of the stuff what I meant with cleanup is it would be better not to be able to hear myself. Actually, there we go. I just shut myself off, which I can do. Isn't that cool? They actually have a button here where you can choose how much your voice is involved in everything. You guys still hear me?
Yeah, you're coming. Go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can
you hear up?
me?
I see.
Can you hear me?
When I do that, though, I can't hear you. All right. Great. So maybe I should just go back to that button I was pressing before and stop it. Yeah.
I saw a movie I've never seen before called Sneakers,
Uh-huh.
early '90s film with Robert Redford. It was pretty interesting. There was some lefty gobbledygook in there, but it was good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I wonder why this never got a sequel. Like one of those movies. Like, I
Right.
definitely could have had a thing going there. It
Well,
all-star cast.
Yep. I just had to shut it
And
off, and that I finally fixed it, and then I had to shut it off because that was no. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't stand that. Anyway, go ahead. This is better.
the way things are going, be glad it didn't get a sequel.
Yeah. Oh my God, no. But like in the early '90s, it was like kind of ahead of its time.
Say, what are you talking about again? I'm sorry. I'm going to stop fiddling with that. Pay attention.
Sneakers with
Sneakers.
Robert Redford, had Sidney Poitier in there, Dan Aykroyd, this guy that Ben Kingsley, all kinds of people are in this movie.
Yeah,
The guy who just got convicted of child molestation from Revenge of the Nerds is in it.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. No, I remember Sneakers. It wasn't a bad movie at all. Didn't they have Christian Slater or something in it?
River Phoenix.
River Phoenix. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, River Phoenix was in that. And
And,
apparently he died like a month later or something.
Did he? They had like a young Angelina Jolie too, didn't it?
Oh, I can't remember.
Sneakers.
I just saw it. Who's in there? I remember the female lead because the female lead's in a lot of stuff too. She was the lady from Dances with Wolves. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it right here. Yeah.
It was one of those movies where it's like a pretty innocent movie in like the like it's not like overly violent or anything. It's just kind of like a feel good movie.
Right. No, I remember the movie. Yeah, it's got Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Sidney Poitier, John Marr. You had Strahan, David Strahan, River Phoenix. Yep. Denise Dowser. No, that can't be your female lead.
No.
I don't see any major lead ladies in this movie. Hold on a second.
Oh, that's her right there. Mary, she looks way different there. Mary, next. Oh, where's she? There she is. Mary McDonald. She looks way different in that photo.
Huh.
But she's in her 70s now. But she was she was the lady from Death with Wolves. Yeah.
Yeah. No, she was a pretty lady in her youth, of course. Yeah, I remember her. She was always kind of a weird looking lady, though.
Yeah, she has like a look to her. Distinct look.
So what was that movie with Angelina Jolie that was similar to Sneakers, though?
Oh, you're probably thinking of Hackers.
Hackers. Yeah, if that's
the
the name
planet.
of it. Yeah. Not
There
as
she is,
yeah. Not as good. Yeah.
Nope. Not as good.
No.
But just as memorable.
In a way, yeah. It had Matthew Lillard in it. I didn't even know that. Yeah, no, yeah, he plays Siri. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember this movie more than I do Sneakers, though.
Yeah.
But Sneakers was more of a kind of an introduction to hacking, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It was early.
It definitely was.
It was
they're like
early.
hacking stuff in the 60s or something. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, it also kind of reminded me of the original Scanners movie, right?
Oh yeah, Scanners.
Because it had a little bit of that too, didn't it? Yeah.
That's actually one of the things that tripped me out about the movie was the technology. It was all like digital watches and stuff. Like everything was so old looking. Like everything was on an IBM. You know, I expected them to be playing a Oregon Trail after every heist.
Right. Yeah.
No. And all the equipment's big and bulky. You know.
Absolutely. Now this was in 80. This is in 92. Okay. When was Scanners?
Wasn't that 95, 96? So
That was it was earlier, dude. 81.
81.
81. And then a decade later, we got 2 and 3 right at one after the other. Wow.
Yeah.
That's early,
Beautiful
dude.
schlock.
Yeah, no, great schlock. Yeah. But I mean, it does deal with hacking mentally. He over the phone, he was like, what do they call that when those guys on the phone used to do all just press number tones and get stuff to happen? What was that called? I can't remember.
My grandma trying to order a pizza.
Well, no, there was actually a way to mess with the system back in the old analog days when they were just switching over the digital with the tones on the especially like the payphones, because payphones used to be dial-up rotary, right? And then they switched over to like a digital thing in the early 80s, late 70s, more of a tonal button thing you would push, and those things were hackable, I guess.
Superman couldn't change anymore.
Yeah. But, and that's the thing I love because I'm sure there's people listening or later who will listen to this and just say boomer to me for not being able to get this to work, even though I am figuring it out. But it's like, you do realize my generation is the one that went from CB radio and, dial-up rotary phones to cassettes, floppy disks, and iPads, iPods, everything. We've had to constantly, our whole life, we're having to adopt this, some new technology. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I
Stop
don't
trying
know.
to confuse us.
Yeah. Stop it. My parents, fair enough, but they never were in it. Right. So,
And it's crazy how some things come full circle, like how vinyl came back around.
isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Yeah. But what I meant was the cleanup is we're starting to see. I was using it in a double way, right? We're starting to see a lot of movies that are starting to push back to say, "Hey, let's do like we all used to do." People seem to like that, so you're getting more and more of this kind of old the proper way to make a movie coming back in pieces. And of course, we're the cleanup in Iran. And this is the big question I wanted to ask today, because I do have some entertainment stuff we'll get into here and talk about a little bit. But I wanted to talk to the Americans and ask you a question, because it seems like there's a lot of noise. Now, I know I'm sure it's just Democrats being Democrats, but seems to be a lot of noise about MAGA this or MAGA's not happy or what have you. But it's like, this war was done in 2 days. All we're dealing with now is cleanup. So, what's all the noise? Actually,
It's propaganda.
it's just lefty propaganda. Okay. So,
Most of it. Yeah, there are some people who like, yeah, I don't want to be in another forever war, which is a valid concern, but that's not what this is.
clearly not. We don't even have boots on the ground, dude. Nor will we. There's no need for it.
And I keep telling people this. That's not what this is. This is fixing a 50-year mistake.
Yeah, we should have done. The whole world should have done something 47 years ago. I mean, what the hell? Why did we wait so long? And there's many examples of that. But I just hearing a lot of weird noise. And also with that, what the hell happened to Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens? What the hell? What did they implode? What happened, dude? I mean, Tucker.
Um,
I mean, Tucker used to be pretty on point with my own thoughts. Pretty on point, and then he went way sideways, dude. What happened?
I don't know. I don't really follow the guy. Couldn't tell you.
Huh?
But Candace has always been full of shit. So
Yeah.
like I don't know why people are even pretending to be surprised by her.
Is that true, or did she just attacked the Macrons and they've been full court pressing her?
No,
Could be a little bit of
she's
column A, a little bit of column B.
yeah.
These guys do things for clicks. At the end of the day.
That is true. It is how they make their money. But yeah, I don't know. It is weird. But I'm just talking about stuff like that. The Iran thing is in cleanup mode 100%. We're just basically trying to make it easier for the people to stand up and take their country back is all we're doing. And they are doing that. I think Trump might say one thing or another, but don't listen to what he says. Watch what he does. Because him saying we had intel about this, whatever. The reason we went in is because for the first time, the Iranian people, because this happens a lot, right? They come out, they protest. The IRGC, which makes up about 5% of the country, they are an invading force, right? Comes out, murders a few thousand of them. They run back home with their tails between their legs. Fair enough. And until the next time it happens. But this time they kept coming out and dying. And I think the administration was like, well, it's either now or never, dude. I mean, I think that's what happened.
Well, also it's kind of funny how it just gets glossed over that in both cases this year that Iran and Venezuela was talking big shit before Trump went over there.
You think it's ego?
Like, no, it's not just ego. It was well, I would say on those idiots' parts, yeah, but for decades now, whether people want to believe it or not, America's looked rather weak.
It
Like,
has.
Oh yeah.
It has. That
We-
is true.
We got
And
Cup play generals.
and whether people like it or not, one thing that Trump is doing is he's just saying, okay, this like you said before, Chester, this is over. This is done. We're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
We these things have been allowed to drag out for decades, and when you let things like that drag out, you look weak. And you know they had that. I don't know if you had saw that. You could debate whether it was real or not of that video of Maduro talking shit before Trump went and got him, calling him a coward and all kinds of shit, and says if he wants him, he can come get him. Well, Trump's like, all right, how's Saturday?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
Ayatollah's been talking about it for 50 years, so I mean, why are people surprised at this?
They shouldn't be. That is true.
Now they got a Bayatollah, am I right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Ayatollah jerky is what they got.
Yeah, because I hear the new one's the son's gay, apparently. And missing a leg, right?
That's what they say.
He can't even run when they throw him off the building.
Wait. Wait.
Well, that's probably just propaganda. One thing I have noticed, of course, people are, I don't know what kind of statement this is, but people are rather childish. If you haven't noticed, and because it's fun to have fun and just kind of goof around and stuff like that. But when it comes right down to it, there's moments you need to be serious, and we see there's plenty of people around the world that aren't. And a lot of the jokes, like 2CTV is a good example. He's done a good job covering this because he's been covering it from the beginning. His family's from there. His family's still there. His father is anyway.
Yeah.
And 2C it's pretty good. If you want to know what's going on, it's a pretty good place to go find. But he's also very childish, as many of those in the area are. Talking about, they're a bunch of goat fuckers and all this yada, yada, yada. And it's like, well, that's not helping the situation whatsoever. That's not informative, right?
Mhm.
But they
But if
do,
it's true,
it might be, but to what extent is that true? And, is it widespread or is it not? But you just, especially from that area in the world, like Middle East, Africa, Central, Mesoamerica, you just get a lot of real silly childishness coming out of people, particularly when they should be being serious instead of just goofing off and having fun. And it is a problem when it comes to international relations. Because then you have a whole nother level of things with these so-called progressives, because they're extremely childish as well, right? In the way they think, in the way they do things. They don't bother to research. They don't bother to be knowledgeable. Matter of fact, that seems to be that seems to be anathema to them.
A lot
And
of willful ignorance.
it is, and it's like, well, we really don't need that, guys. We don't. We need, if you're gonna talk seriously, if you want to go out with your friends and goof around and have fun, which I do all the time, go right ahead. But if you're going to be involved in geopolitics, just try to put a little bit more serious hat on, shall we? But we can't get this. And when you're dealing with an enemy, and Iran has been, or the RGC anyway, has been screaming about how they're our enemy since their inception. They have never shut up about it, right? But yet they can never have a serious conversation. You can never actually have a legitimate negotiation or diplomatic talks with these people. You just can't. And most of the Middle East is like this. Like, look at their so-called allies in the Middle East. UAE, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, or Qatar, I guess. They've been hit every day. They're getting hit. The IRGC is attacking them way more than they're doing anybody else. And it's like, they still haven't acted. They're talking about it. They talk about it every day, but they don't do anything. Well, why aren't you doing anything? You're getting bombed. Why aren't you defending yourself? What's the deal? I mean, right?
You would think.
Yeah. So it's just a bunch of children, and it irritates me because the older I get, the more I realize the more children are out there. Now, my question are my observations legitimate, or am I just getting old man syndrome?
We're talking about how people aren't as smart as they used to be, right?
Yeah.
I think as childish as that is, it's like the episode of Seinfeld where the guy gives out a childish insult, calls Elaine a big head, and it just cuts at her, even though it's so childish. And it's just it might be effective because it's childish.
Maybe.
It's human nature,
Yeah.
you know. And
Maybe.
especially that part of the world, these are people who are unfortunately, victims of like a lot of inbreeding and stuff. They might grab a stupid little rumor like that and start looking at their leaders a little differently. And that's what the psyop of it is attempting to do.
Maybe. Well, I do know that we just had another round of, IQ testing around the world. Has just kind of concluded here a few months ago. And this is not something normally the public is given. As a matter of fact, they do try to almost kind of hide it, but they can't because they're public institutions that are doing it, but they don't advertise it. Let's put it that way, because, racism. But they do these things because, as you should do these things. And if you understand a problem, you could maybe work toward fixing it. Well, anyway, we just had another rounds of those completed. And those things, keep in mind, those things can take, 7 years, 6 years to complete a project like that. That's not an easy thing, right? That's a lot of work. And especially because we're talking globally. And it takes a lot of money, too. But nevertheless, we just got the results back. And the last one we did, the winner for the dumbest overall country on the planet, meaning lowest IQ, was Mexico. But the new one has changed. Would you like to guess where it is? Any
I'm going to
guesses?
say it's in somewhere.
What do you say?
I'm guessing it's in Africa somewhere.
Well, it's basically the totality of Africa. Everything.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And would you like to guess the number? Now, understand that IQ, just to quantify it for the listeners understanding how IQ works. The point of IQ is really doing this. How much have you learned in your life, and how quickly can you recall it? That's all IQ does. If we want to understand overall intelligence, you also have to understand brain chemistry. Like, for instance, you can have a very high IQ, but if your brain chemistry is balanced, like mine is 50-50, which I love, it makes me, allows me to interact with the world really well. But it keeps me from being the kind of like an Einsteinian genius, though, because those geniuses, whether they be left-brained or right-brained, meaning, analytical or artistic, emotional, those people like Einstein or Van Gogh, those people are like 80-90% imbalanced in their brain, but that's why they're genius, you see. So there's more to it than IQ, but IQ is a good understanding of your cultural layout. How important is education, because that's really what IQ is measuring, is your education. How much have you learned? And also a little bit of your mental capability in how quickly can you recall that information, right? But so just to quantify it. Would you guys like to guess the number we're down to in Africa? And the other places have gone down to. What do you say?
67.
67. What do you think, Alan?
I think it's in the 50s.
50s. The overall average is 61.5. And on the lower end of the spectrum, we literally have people in the low 40s. So now, would you like to guess where retardation cutoff line is?
70, right?
Yeah, well, they altered that. It's actually correctly 85. 85. If you're under 85, you are limited, right? And that's why our military has a cutoff of 85. You can't even get in the military if your IQ is below 85, right? But back in the late 70s, early 80s, they're like, it's a racist, which I don't know how that's racist, but okay. So they lowered it down to 70. And then the 90s, like, well, that's really too low. They raised it up to 75. But these days they have been kind of pushing it back up toward 80, 85 where it belongs. But so you have a population that's averaged of two mean ranks below what is considered minimal human intelligence. The Middle East is hardly any higher. Mexico is lower than it used to be. It used to be 74. Now it's sitting at right on 70, right? With Latin America all around it, not far from it. So you have these three places: Latin America, Africa in general, and the Middle East, where IQ is incredibly low. It's just ridiculously low. The rest of us are all sitting at the standard human mean. White people sit right dab in the middle, right? You got Asians a little bit above, and you have all the other people a little bit below, right? 90, 95. Whites are about 100, and the Asians about 105. So we're all kind of clustered together, right? And that includes American blacks, by the way. That's not so. It's showing you that it's not really 100% genetic, right? I mean, there's a little bit
I was
of
going to say,
that.
how much of it has to do with inbreeding in those other countries?
I bet. No, I bet. That's why I brought it up, because Alan mentioned inbreeding.
It's a big problem.
But we're talking about dealing with people who are two full mean levels below the average human for the majority of us. We're all about at 100. That's where we are. But you have these areas of the world that are in the 60s, and they have many of their population that are less than that. And it's just, how do you deal with that? Because one, that means their education is just, there is none. And two, they have very little recall. Their recall is quite slow. You do realize we have exceptional examples of animals that are ranking about that same level. That gorilla, I can't remember its name, the one that they taught sign language to.
Poco.
Poco.
Okay.
Yeah. Was sitting in was considered to be sitting around 60, right? Smart ass monkey, because most of them are lower. But that's what we're dealing with. So, and it also explains the childishness. And I also think the inbreeding problem is a big problem, right? Because we know right well you shouldn't be doing this, but they do it. Because if you're gonna breed, you're gonna make babies in amongst family groups or tight knit environments. You need to be really good at record keeping, because if the mother is different but the father is the same, you're not going to have any genetic issues. But if the mother is the same or closely related, like say a sister, right? This is where your problems come in, right? Because the male sperm and the female egg do different things in the creation of a child, right? The female is basically carrying her data, right? Her information. But mostly all the egg, other than being a carrier, all the egg is actually doing is introducing mutation. The act of mutation is all it's doing. The female egg is quite minimal in what it does. And they are trying to recreate eggs and recreate sperm right now, of course, scientifically, and they're having way more. They're way further ahead with the egg than the sperm, and some scientists saying they might not ever be able to replicate a sperm synthetically because of the complexity. But what the woman's egg is introducing is very important. Mutation, that's an important thing. But the problem is, if you're putting mutation from the same line of mutation, you get bad mutation, right? So
Yes.
you can intermarry in close relation. You can do this successfully. Royals have been doing it for thousands of years, literally. But their
Well, they
record
look weird
keeping is
now.
amazing. They do, but but they're not stupid, right? And their record keeping is meticulous, right? And they need to be, because if the mothers are closely related, this is the problem. The father needs to be disparate, and if you have that, you're good. You know, you might get some weird looking children, but they're going to function well, if not really well, right? So, you know, and these people don't have the education level to be able to keep such record keeping. Therefore, we're getting a lot of incorrect inbreeding, being through the maternal line, right? The mitochondrial side of things, right? So, but you know, it seems like a weird conversation we're having, but not really, dude, because this is absolute nonsense. In having to deal with these people, the violence of them, the jihadi mindset is just so widespread through that part of the world. Then when you get in Africa, not only do you have all those problems, you also have the fact that, well, they're not even really Muslims. Not really. I mean, they're technically claimed to be one, but their cultural way and Islam kind of interact in a very similar way. So why not be Muslim, I guess? But they're really different. And the Africa, we're not really dealing with Africa because they're not a threat to anyone but themselves. But the Middle East is the same problem, and especially amongst these Muslims, right? When you get into other culture, like in Iran, when you get into the Persians, the Zoroastrians, and the Christians, and all that other stuff that is in Iran, because it is a cosmopolitan place, you don't see anywhere near the same amount of problems. But the issue is that 5% that the RGC makes up in Iran are radically violent, and they will kill you without even any hesitation, because Allahu Akbar, right? And that's what they've been under. And it took us 47 years to bother to give a shit, which is what really pisses me off, because we have this thing called the United Nations, right? Right? And why did we create the United Nations? What was the point? We used to have the League of Nations, and that went defunct for some reason. And now we have the United Nations after World War II. Why did we make that? Anybody have any clue?
Nope, because it damn sure doesn't do anything.
No. Well, the idea was to make sure that never happens again and to protect the Jews. Now, they give a shit. They don't involve themselves in anything that's not profitable to them, and they hate the Jews. You're way off charter, buddy. Right? But the UN has never done anything to help anybody where money wasn't involved. We have so many countries around the world who could have used our help, because think about this. The idea, the concept of all the planet countries on the planet working together to make sure everyone gets to live freely in peace, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea, because that's a lot of force you can bring to bear to a problem. But we never do anything. There have been so many incidences along the way and ongoing that they never do anything about. Think of all the countries that have dictators that are just abusing the shit out of their people. I mean, America, we have propaganda up the wazoo, and we got all kinds of nonsense going on left to right, but you still have the freedom to make a choice, right? At least you have that. Mm-hmm. And it's more than the illusion of it. You do have that freedom, right? But yet we don't do anything to protect anyone else, even in the most minimum of that. And it's just, what's the point? Just shut it all down, because we know the United Nations is doing nothing but sucking up money and pumping it into political campaigns. That's all they're doing. Has nothing to do with, it's not it's not some, humanitarian, altruistic organization as it should be. It's a political machine, right? An animal. I don't know. It just irritates the hell out of me, Alan.
Yeah, if U.S. politicians are all bought out, can you imagine them?
Yeah. No, yeah. It's really bad. I mean, we talk about China a lot, right? Because, you know, it is what it is. But their problem over there is it's not the CCP. The CCP is bad, and it has a lot. We could talk about that all day. But it's the little local leaders, the little communist bosses in all the little teeny towns and villages. They're the problem because they're all corrupt. They're all digging for money. They're all sucking on it because I don't want to be mean to the artistic people here, Alan, but
Yeah.
our brain, I was talking about brain chemistry. Our brain is split into a left and a right side, right? Your left side is your analytical brain, therefore your academic brain, and your right brain, the right hemisphere, is your emotion, and therefore, of course, that leads into artistic things. And your balance for one or the other, it tends to be how you lean, right? So the problem is the more you lean to the right, the less analytical you are. And of course, we see people who are way too analytical and take things too seriously and have no creative imagination. You know, it goes both ways. But I'd much rather have left brainers than right brainers making decisions anyway. Don't you think?
Yep.
You know,
I,
I think we should have a rule on that, maybe a law. You're not allowed to get into public service unless you are predominantly left brained. We can test this, you know.
I'm okay with that. I don't like helping people that much.
Well, okay, fine. That's not the point. Anyway, anyway, let me get into what I did set up for today. Let me go ahead and over there and do this. So, first thing I did bring up, Grimlock, go ahead and read that.
what we got? Let's see what we got. WonderCon this weekend brings Felicia Day, Scott Snyder, and a packed comics focus schedule.
Okay. Now,
Mm,
we talked about another con last week, and that was in down in Florida, and that was MegaCon.
mega.
Yeah, MegaCon. And MegaCon, has got a very long history, but as it sits today, it's very much sat with I don't know what would we call it, the new right wing, the new conservative, like because it's all nerdrotic and geeks and
I would
gamers.
say it's more. I would say it's more indie focus.
Indie focus, okay, fine, because they don't seem. I don't want to call them Republicans because they're not really, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, they was a big part of the show, but they wasn't the whole show.
Right. Yeah, yeah. But they were a big part of it, and of course, MegaCon seems to be much more normal when I was a kid of how things were, which is it's entertainment, comic books, video games, board games, yay, fun. That's it. That was no politics, just fun, right? It seems to be what it is. Now, WonderCon is in Anaheim, California,
Yeah.
and
I was
we have
supposed to go, but I had to
we're-
skip it this year.
You skipped it. Okay. Well, you have Felicia Day, very woke little girl, right? Scott Schneider. Do I know him? Who's he?
Scott
does,
Snyder.
he writes for Batman. He's doing Batman Absolute right now, I think.
Oh, okay. He's a writer. Okay.
He's been the off and on Batman writer since the New 52 days.
I see.
He's
Okay.
the guy who signed that "I will not rape my coworker" thing done by those stupid wokies. Do you
Yeah.
remember that contract that went around?
I do remember.
He
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
he was like the famous writer that signed, one of the big writers that signed that thing, like it mattered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why do we need a paper to say such a thing that is common human courtesy?
I'm sure, I'm sure the guys are just fighting each other like Popeye and Bluto for the right to rape Gail Simone and Teenie Howard.
Yeah. Uh huh. Yeah, yeah. Especially those kind of dudes because they're not the most testosterone fueled individuals, right? Because that's really when you get into that kind of sexual violence. It's really any violence. It's all about testosterone levels, and I have a feeling that a bunch of comic book writers and comic book artists are not sitting at the penultimate level of such things.
Hey,
Just a guess. Just a guess.
oh, be nice.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. You guys are going to be
I
more
know, I
normal.
No, you're right. I've ran into a lot of pansies. It's true.
Yeah, yeah. The test guys are all athletes or CrossFit. They're mostly CrossFit people. That's what they are. Yeah. But you can see them a mile away. You know a T-boy when you see one, right? Easy. And that's a whole nother issue, right? Because they can be annoying as hell as well, right? But anyway. Yeah.
T-boys.
Yeah,
What are we in Thailand?
Yeah. No. Those would be. They have a word for that over there. What do they call that? My brain's working. Give me a second. Katoi.
You smell that?
Katoi. I think is the way they pronounce it. So no, there's no
Smell
T.
smoke.
There is a T in the middle. Anyway, WonderCon Anaheim dates and hours. Nice. We got some information. So one thing I do love about cons, because really it depends on the con, but for the most part, the ones I've seen, there's two types. You have the ones where you actually sit down, play games, interact with people, and you can shop. Right? There's shopping.
Mhm.
Right? Then you have the other cons which you can't hardly buy anything at all. There's like nothing to buy, and it's just one show after the other, and a bunch of booths trying to sell a future thing, like a upcoming movie or what have you. Right? Those are the two I've seen. Now, Alan has more experience than we do, I think, Grimlock. So, what is your general con experience, Alan?
It's usually a big swap meet kind of deal where a bunch of people are selling stuff. There is promotional booths that want to show off like what they're coming up with, but it's mostly, especially LA Comic Con, it's mostly little retailers, little comic book stores and stuff like that selling a bunch of merch. for
Okay.
sure. I
And
like
that-
going to Artist Alley and finding a bunch of like cool weird art.
Yeah, no, that
That's
is
like
fun.
my jam.
Yeah. No, I prefer those where you can, buy stuff. It's usually not lots of like really big end high end stuff, but you can shop. I prefer those. But they have both style.
And then a lot of people nowadays they come to see the celebrities.
Yeah, no, that's a thing. My daughter was very excited to meet Tom Hiddleston, which I paid a lot of money for. Anyway,
So we got a
No
couple. We got a
kidding.
couple of cons where I live.
yeah.
We got the Soda City Comic Con in Columbia,
Uh-huh.
which I've been to a few times. But then you got the SC Comic Con, which is in Greenville, and I would say it's a little. Those two are a mix of both. Like being in the southeast, old school wrestling is still pretty big down here. So
Oh yeah.
one of the big attractions is meeting some of the old school wrestlers. Like I've met Sergeant Slaughter, I've met Ron Simmons and Teddy Long. The Hardys are usually here often. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard will pop in from time to time. Um, a lot of like if you was a fan of the old '80s territory and
Right.
early WCW, you'll see a lot of those guys. Um, then you'll have a lot. At least the times that I've been, I haven't been to every one, but there's a lot of vendors when I've gone, and the vendors that have gone to those, they also have this thing called the Vault Show, like
Uh-huh.
they do every 3 months. So I've been going to those as well. Those are basically nerd swap meets,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm getting on a first name basis with quite a few vendors there. I found some stuff there that I didn't know existed, like Brian Polito writing for Marvel. Did not know that actually happened.
Huh.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, they are quite incestuous, the two. They do. You see a
but
lot of crossover you didn't realize happened. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, but at Soda City at least, like they had like areas we had where they had um game areas. Like they had one room where it was all tabletop games. Like if you wanted to go in and play tabletop games, you could go in and play with people. And then there was another room where it was Smash Brothers on a CRT and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on a Dreamcast, and they had pinball machines in the back. It was actually a really cool setup. I think Chester, you would have dug it.
No,
Um,
I'm sure it would have. Yeah. I mean,
That Dreamcast game.
yeah, and it was a 3 day. It's a 3 day event. If and the tickets here are pretty damn cheap. You
yeah,
spend $25, you get the ticket for all 3 days. Um,
Oh, that's pretty good.
yeah.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, they do have celebrities. Like one year,
yeah.
the big attraction was Mike Coulter, Luke Cage, when Luke Cage was on Netflix, and he was pretty cool. He was pretty nice to everybody. Then they had the voice cast from Batman the animated series. So I got to meet Kevin Conroy before he passed.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
an absolute gentleman. I will never tolerate any Kevin Conroy slander in my presence. The
Fair
man was
enough.
an absolute gentleman. And
Me,
yes,
that's
I turned into a child when he whispered, "I am Batman" in the voice as we took pictures.
me. That's the Batman for me is the animated series.
Yeah.
His voice, the way they portray the character, past any movie, he's the best Batman.
They've had cosplay shows. They've had some really like I've seen people do some really good cosplays at Soda City. They got a local Ghostbusters chapter around that comes out for the con, and they're fully kitted, own built proton packs and every fucking thing. It
Right.
was I
Yeah.
think that I I felt like I actually had this dispute with an ex girlfriend who lived out in California. I'm like, if I ever had a chance to go to, you know, San Diego Comic Con, I would go just to say that I went, but it's not a desire because of what it's become. Like, it's not really for old school comic fans. It's more for, like people who are interested in meeting celebrities, and that's cool and everything.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think like smaller cons like the one I've been to, I think is more for guys like us.
I see.
Yeah, you're correct. The last couple times I've been to San Diego Comic Con, it's not even about comic books at all. Like one of the times it was all about video games. Like E3, I was looking around,
Yeah,
and then you can't get into anything because people want to see, like David Boreanaz or something. Like, come.
I mean,
Who's a funny guy, by the way. David Boreanaz is a very
yeah,
funny man.
because yeah, like
But
I've met Roy Thomas. I got to talk with Freddie Williams, who did the illustrations for the Batman Ninja Turtles crossovers. I mean, that was those things are cool, and I'm pretty sure Alan knows that the smaller cons is also good because you get to the vendors, and especially maybe on the last day when they're trying to move as much merch as possible, you get some
Yeah.
cool deals.
you throw some extras in your bag. Doesn't want to
Yep,
carry that to the airport.
I got some cool shit. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody collects, like, for people who collect action figures, like the Jada Toys Mega Man series. I got a couple of those too for $20.
Oh, nice.
Uh, Yeah. And Jada Toys, man, to be a new company and the licenses that they got in such a short period of time, that's pretty cool for a smaller company. I got some old. I was able to pick up some old magazine, like the prestige format comics. Like I found an old Kazar comic, a graphic novel that was written by Chuck Dixon.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they had like those old, like the old '70s like magazine size Savage Sword of
Right.
Conan and Rampaging Hulk and Howard the Duck. I
Oh,
got a
yeah.
couple of those
Yeah,
now.
that stuff's cool.
I was able to get some deals. So
Yeah, that's kind of what I want. But like when I went to Tokyo Comic Con, unfortunately, I didn't get to do that because they weren't selling anything, right?
oh wow.
So it was a real pain in the butt as far as that is concerned. So I prefer the ones like you're talking about. But another thing I really do enjoy. I know Alan's talking about the see celebrities and stuff, which I never care much about, but I get people like it. I love the cosplay though.
Well,
Oh
it's
yeah,
funny
cosplay,
because
right.
what celebrities for like comic nerds and what celebrity for normal people like two different things. Like I was happy as shit to meet Roy Thomas and just talk with him for a little while,
Sure. Yeah.
and then like, oh, there's Larry Hama over there in that corner, and it's like, who the fuck is Larry Hama? And you look at them funny, like, what do you mean, who the fuck is Larry Hama?
Right. Well, I mean, you're either a
That's
comic
kind of
book fan or you're not, right?
that's kind of the fun parts of San Diego that I've been to. It's like I've been in line with people who have been on TV, so they can meet their favorite comic book artists. That you're like, oh, I share an interest with this guy.
Right. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's kind of neat to like find those kind of things out. I remember I was like in line with some of the cast of Reno 911 once, so it's pretty interesting.
Oh, really?
They were just trying to get into the con. They weren't like special guests or anything.
That's
Nice.
it. That is cool. Yeah. But this one in WonderCon is of course has Felicia Day. Now, Felicia Day was on. She did like a internet YouTube show where she was kind of woke, but I forget what it was called. But it was about board games and just geek life, and of course she showed up in a couple of TV shows, I think. But she is a Wookiee. This Scott Schneider, this writer, is he a Wookiee?
Yeah, I mean he's not. I mean he's not egregious
Well,
about it, but he's there.
And Joshua
I don't know so much.
Williamson.
I don't know so much as Scott Snyder is a Wookiee rather than he's just a punk. Like,
Oh,
Yeah,
does he's like he's basically like I'm pretty sure you've seen the meme on the internet somewhere like the NPC that says I support the current thing.
right.
That's basically like, he's not gonna say anything that's gonna rock the boat because he's afraid that the mob is gonna come for him. And and,
right.
and like Alan brought up earlier, like they had him sign that ridiculous fucking pledge to not rape anybody. And like, if I'm not mistaken, dude's a married man, and they made him fucking come back from a family vacation to sign that shit.
Yeah,
And like a punk actually did. I'm like, dude, you're like, what are you worried about raping bitches and you're married?
Well, I mean, you do realize rape is excessively rare, right? You do realize that,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah, I know they go on about it. They love this word. They love screaming about it. Unless it's happening in someone they want to see harmed, then they're fine with it.
yeah.
You
And then
could you can rape a Jew all day, I guess. But yeah, it's so inane, and nearly all of the very small amount that it happened, because it happens very rarely, dude. I mean, we're talking like
Yes.
what was the last statistic I saw on that? 1 in 67,000 women, or not even women, people, because it's actually 50-50, by the way, of who gets sexually assaulted. right? It's not, doesn't lean. We've been taught that it's all only men doing it. It's not true. It's literally 50-50. And of that 1 in 67,000 women that have sexual assault, the vast majority of that is actually words, not even contact, right? It's sexual harassment. 1 in 67,000, right? When you get into actual, what we would consider this word rape, you're looking at just the infinitesimal amount of people, and 97% of that is coming from people that they know, family, friends. So the random rapist upon the street is literally 3% of 3% of 3%, etc. It's hardly happens at all in America. Now in Europe, it used to be even lower than that. But of course, then they brought all the Muslims in, and they have actually seen a skyrocketing in actual predators on the street, actually. Yeah, it's so insipid, this nonsense that they go on and on about. It's really ridiculous. It just doesn't happen. It's so rare. But if you listen to media, you wouldn't think so. I mean,
But if you listen to women on the internet, you would think it's like
We live in a
every
free
day.
culture.
well, let me ask
Yeah.
you: do you know anyone? Because I don't. I'm old. I've lived a long life. I've
Right.
traveled all over the world. I've never met a woman that was sexually assaulted, not once.
I'll say, unfortunately, I know quite a few girls, like, and it happened to them when they was really young.
Oh, okay.
But I also unfortunately know some guys that they
Yep.
also had it happen to them.
Well,
You know.
that's true.
I was gonna say the same. I do know women and I do know guys.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because it is 50-50. The statistics on this are very clear. If the target, the victim, is over the age of 18 years old, the statistic leans toward men being the perpetrator, although it's not 100%, but it does skew more male. If the victim is under the age of 18, it skews heavily female. So the reality of childhood molestation is it's mostly women doing it. It's a bigger skew than the other way, right? Whereas
Yeah.
with over 18, it's like 65-35. So it's definitely leans toward the men doing it. But under, it's like you're looking at like a 70-30, a 75-25 split, where the women are responsible. It's outrageous. But then again, like I'm saying, it's actually ultra rare. I've met a couple of men in my life that have had these issues, but I've never met a woman, ever. And, maybe I have, and they just don't talk about it. That's fair enough. But I've never, ever met a woman that talked about it or mentioned it or anything at all. Anything. I've never even heard about it through family or friends. Oh, did you hear what happened to Laura or what have you? Never in my life have I ever heard it. Now, I've heard women who didn't like certain advances, men were like hitting on them and they didn't like it, but there was no assault. You didn't like because he wasn't hot from your point of view. Okay, fine. But he didn't harm you, right? There was no harm. He just asked you out and you didn't like it. I've seen this, but I've never seen it. Now, I'm not discounting people that have had head trauma because there are people. I know this. But it's just it's so rare, But anyway, moving on from that. Masquerade. They have a masquerade. Oh, that sounds fun. You ever been to a masquerade ball or a Beltane?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but then
no.
they try to get me to eat a baby, and I was like, no.
Oh, well, okay. No, they're fun, dude. I used to go to a masquerade in Salem, Massachusetts every Halloween. It was a bit pricey, but I didn't mind saving my money and going to do it. Yeah, they're fun. It's just, I like environments where people are just having fun and enjoying themselves. Right? And there's not some other stupid nonsense going on. Like a convention, a geek convention should be, right? It should be all about having fun together. Right? I mean, that's the point,
You would think.
So that's cool. They have Masquerade. Yeah, that sounds fun. So it doesn't give a lot of details, but what it does say in this, because we covered last week, so I thought I'd mention it. But it does really kind of lean into the fact that this one is not really much about celebrity. This is more about booths and shopping and artist alley and cosplay and stuff like that. WonderCon, which sounds better than Comic Con because Comic Con's gotten a little out of control, hasn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted to go. I always WonderCon's only like half an hour from where I live too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Why didn't you go, dude?
And money, I guess. It's,
Well, how much does it cost to get in?
not too much, but I gotta save every penny right now
I see. Yeah.
because I live in California.
Well, that's true, dude. You need to get up out of there. The problem is when we get into pricing, I never know because I never pay for anything. It's always my wife handling it. You know, it's just the way it is here in Japan. The women take care of the finances, which makes sense. I mean, they're the ones that spend all the damn money anyway, right?
It's not too expensive to get in. It's more like I wanted to spend money on art and buy things from artists
Right.
and stuff like that, right?
Well, I did buy a bunch from Mike Miller. My kids bought stuff, and I really wanted to buy a replica movie prop from Blade Runner. It was the gun, Decker's gun, but it was like $500, and I could have bought it. I should have just bought it, but I'm so hesitant to spend big money like that. I don't know. Well, I'm built in. I was a poor New England boy, right?
Yes, flex now. You're not poor no more, man.
I know, dude, but
And I-
it's built into my head. And I'm not super rich either, though, right? But it's just in my head, dude. I have to force myself. Like these headphones, which I've already this show. I figured a couple things out, and after the show, I think I'll be able to get her locked in. But I've had those old headphones for 12 years, and they work. But the plastic pieces were starting to fall off because they don't make shit like they used to. Have you hadn't noticed?
No, you don't.
So I did my research, and this one seems to be really good for what I do, and it is. So I finally bit the bullet and bought it. But I spent nearly $300 for these things, dude. They're freaking expensive.
Yeah, 12. Well, you got 12 years out of the other one. That's a pretty good deal. You got your money's worth out of that for sure.
I did well, and they still work. They're literally falling apart. So I was like, I'd better just bite the bullet. But I'm like that though. I research what I buy because I want it to last. Because from my point of view, when I spend money, it's looking at the life of the thing. So how long? Like those things I spent I think $200 for those. They're a bit cheaper than these, the HyperX, and that was 12 years ago, so they were expensive. But I got 12 years out of it. So how do you break that down? How many dollars a year is that, right? Like $15 a year. And from my point of view, that's money well spent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like that, dude. I can't get myself past it. I try. I do try to kick myself in the ass and say, dude, just buy it. But see, if I let myself go, I will have a Ferrari Roma sitting in the driveway. See, that's the problem.
Well, I mean, you're almost at retirement age. Get you a damn Ferrari. Enjoy your life. You didn't work hard enough for it.
Dude, they're like $250,000, man. It's a lot of money, dude. I buy a house.
Dude, at this point, $250,000 will barely get you a good pickup truck. Get your damn Ferrari.
Yeah. Dude, they are so cool. Have you seen the Ferrari Romas, man? Oh, I really want one. It's not the fastest or fanciest one, but that's probably why I like it. I don't like the flashy, weird looking stuff. But the Ferrari Roma, dude, it's just sexy. It's just sexy. Look at it. Look at it, dude. It's just sexy.
And when they talked about it before, about how cars don't have personality no more.
Yeah,
And
well,
Ferrari is
Ferrari
one of
always does.
the
Yeah,
few-
that's true.
That is a gorgeous car.
It is beautiful, dude, and it's actually better in person.
It kind of reminds me of the Ferrari California that they had some
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah. It does, but and
And the California wasn't the fastest in its fleet, but it was a good. It was just a good looking car.
yeah, no, and seeing this thing in person, it's even sexier, dude. Because I have gone and looked at them. You know, my nose is leading, and I have one of my friends owns one too. He's got this one, the silver one, the or gunmetal, I guess. So
Yeah.
I've actually test drove it because my friend owns it. So I took for a test. But he has a lot of these things. He's got like Lotuses and Lamborghinis, and he's got a lot of these kind of cars. But I actually took him for a test drive, and I'm madly in love. And the good thing over here in Japan, Ferrari Japan, they actually make it left hand drive. I mean right hand drive, which is handy.
Yeah, dude, you've been working for 30 years. Your kids are out of the house.
They are.
They're starting their own life. They're getting. They're. You're about to be Grandpa Kaiju.
I am Grandpa Kaiju. The baby was born. Yeah, I'm Grandpa
Congratulations.
official. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Congratulations, me. Yeah, I know. My wife. You're gonna make yourself enemy of my wife trying to talk me into it, though.
That's all right. That's what I'm. See, that's my job.
It's your job. Yeah, but this thing is super sexy. But yeah, I
And you know what? And you know what? She'll be the enemy until that first time she rides in it.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. That is true. But
Every woman hates. They'll hate the price tag until that first ride.
that's true. Yeah. Well, she was like that with the Civic, the ST I have, because that's a
Hmm.
bit of a ticket price on that too. But she loves that car now. You know why she loves it though? The reason I think she loves it is because everybody compliments me on it. Dudes walking by on the street, because for Japanese that's a Corvette, right? For this
Yeah,
culture, and they walk by the street and oh Civic, so everyone notices it and appreciates it. Therefore, she likes it.
but that's what cars used to be
Yeah.
all the time. It's like I tell people like nobody like Alan knows nowadays everything is a fucking SUV or a truck, and nobody is like getting out of their car and asking you about your freaking Buick Rendezvous. Nobody.
Even though Buick is a
But
great
if
company, though
but if
they
you
make
have
good
a
cars.
freaking, I mean, yeah, but it looks like just about everything else that's
Right.
out here.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
if you have a but if you have a '63 Buick Riviera,
Oh, now you come on now.
well
That's
then
not fair. That's not fair.
no,
That's one of the sexiest cars ever made, dude. Fucking
yeah,
Riviera, dude.
and people will still stop and ask you about that car.
Yeah, they will. I gotta have to share with the folks because I don't know if you guys don't know what a Riviera is, man. Let me help you out.
oh yeah. Looks like the Green Hornets car. That car.
Yeah,
The Chrysler. Well, that's another one. The '64 Chrysler Imperial. I would love to get my hands on one.
I probably didn't spell that right. Maybe I did. Oh, dude, it's so sexy, dude. And I've seen people resto mod these things to just gorgeous levels, dude. There are so many beautiful resto mods on this vehicle. But yeah, this is a gorgeous car. Gorgeous car, Riviera.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I do love the. I'm also a big fan of '67 Pontiac Firebirds. They look good.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of those muscle cars. They're too bulky and fat for me, but the '67 Firebird I like Pontiac. But yeah, I'd own a freaking Riviera any day, dude. If I was in America, it's the type of car I'd probably be in, to be honest with you. But I'm over here, so it's just not a thing. But yeah, they have those clamshell headlights that pop open. Or is this the solid ones? This one's the solid ones. But what was it?
yeah.
The year before, they actually would open up vertically, right? The clamshell headlights are really cool. But yeah, I've seen some beautiful resto mods. Matter of fact, let me put that in. Let's put that in. Because we're really not on target today at all. That's all right, though. I'm having mic issues. Look at some of this stuff people have made, dude. Look at it.
Yep.
Just gorgeous. I saw one, but it's like a $200,000 restoration, dude. Look at that. Look at that, dude. Look at that. Come on. What are you doing? You have one job, then you're not going to do it. All right. Right. Be like that. But yeah, Buicks are nice. But yeah, I do love me the Roma, though. Like I said, you look at it, this is more looks almost like a Porsche, right? This doesn't have the kind of modern Ferrari just nonsense. It's just so noisy. I love the sleekness of it, and like I said, when you see it in person, because these Ferraris are very wide, it just has a presence, a stance, and I test drove it. Like I said, now my Civic top end speed way faster, but then again, that Civic, those STs, those Type R's, dude, they're faster than pretty much everything at the top end. They just don't have an end to them, and they don't lose their boots, right? They just stay on the road and they just hug it. So fair enough, the Civic is faster at the top end, but 0 to 60, this thing right here is just pure joy. Where the Civic doesn't squeak its tires. You know how hard it is for me to get those tires to squeak? I got to throw that tail around, boy. I have to really try. This thing right here is pure fun at lower speed, right? And it's gorgeous, and ladies just melt, which doesn't really mean anything anymore, but anyway. Let me move on to the next thing before I get myself stuck here. Now, this is an interesting topic. Go ahead, read this.
Netflix raises prices again as premium jumps to 26. Jesus Christ, 26.99.
So $27 a month. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I don't own or pay money to Netflix. Now, I say it that way because my wife keeps turning the damn thing on because they have all her Korean dramas on it, the Japanese version, right? And she's always or even the Japanese stuff. So she's always watching it for that, and occasionally some Western thing. But I wish she would stop giving these people money, but whatever. Because she and my daughter are constantly also turning Disney on and off if there's something they want to watch. It's like, would you stop giving those people money? But anyway, maybe this will get her to stop because this is international, is said to be coming, but this is in America specifically right now. Now, who wants to pay $27 a month for a service? I mean, how many services? Let me ask a question. Alan, how many services do you pay money for now?
I canceled all of them.
Good for you. How about you?
It was ridiculous. It was like almost $80. It's like you might as well have cable.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Does cable still exist?
Yeah, I guess like in the form of like satellite and Spectrum.
Huh?
It does.
Yeah.
But it was ridiculous. And then the things you really want sometimes are not on any of them.
Yep.
Oh, fair.
So I've had Hulu for the longest, but since Disney decided that they're going to eliminate Hulu and they eliminate Hulu, I am done.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And even there, in the last few years, the prices have gone up, but it's not to this ridiculous level. But
Yeah. Well, when they went up to $25, I thought it was like, well, who's going to pay for that? But now they've jumped it up another $1, $2. So
but the thing is, like Alan said, there's like so many things now. Like when Netflix 13 years ago, um, they used to have so much cool shit up there because they was pretty much the only thing in town. And because all the big corporations decided, oh, well, we're going to have a streaming platform.
Right.
Now there's like, what, 12, 15 fucking streaming platforms. And they all got shit divided up and divvied up like freaking drug lords. And yeah, like he said, if you actually, I think if you don't even have to buy all of them. I think if you just pay for three or four of them a month, you're probably paying more in cable over the long term, over the course of a year.
I betcha. I don't know. I haven't used cable in 20 years,
I
but
I just did I just did the math in my head. With this, if you are spending over $320 a year on Netflix, and I don't know, I don't know, for the people who watch Netflix, if you don't watch that shit on a daily basis, that's it's kind of a waste of money, isn't it?
it is. And yeah, that's why I asked all this stuff to be shut down. But my wife is my wife, so whatever makes her happy, I guess. But yeah, no, I wouldn't pay all that stuff. But I've always been a bit of a pirate in that regard. Anyway, although I think I'm much cooler than Johnny Depp. But, he seemed to make a lot of money. Now, one thing I have to say
That's
that
the
I do
truth.
enjoy about these new headphones, even though I have to, I think I figured out what the problem is. I just need to deal with it offline. I have to reset and stuff, I think. But the one thing I love about these, other than the fact that your voices are super clear, my voice is super clear, is I'm now on the other side of the house, and you guys can hear me just fine.
Yep,
Yeah.
got some good ratings on it.
Yeah, no problem. Did you hear the fart though? Could you hear the fart? Was it that? Was it
Yeah,
that? No, damn it. All right. I got to buy a new set. I got to go to the thousand
It's
dollar
like a
route.
candle in the wind.
But that is super cool because usually, because I had all the wires and stuff, so I had to take it off and say, Jeff, you're in charge. But now I could just do it myself. Can you hear the water pouring?
now he can just fart and let it rip.
Yep. And do what I want to do. Because I do also think the noise cancellation isn't on with this, which I have to set that up as well. But I think they're overall pretty good. What do you guys use for headset for talking here and mic?
Because I usually run Discord through my phone, so I'm using the JLabs that I use for my phone.
The what? Oh, just little
Uh,
the earplugs.
yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
I don't like stuff in my ear. I have those Shocks. Have you ever heard of those?
yeah.
Yeah, Shocks. Shokz. But because they hang over the ear, they don't go in the ear. They're pretty comfortable. They work well.
Hmm.
They're expensive too. I mean, it's like, what the hell? Why is everything so damn expensive, dude? I mean, I don't know. $300 for a fucking pair of headphones, man. It pisses me off.
I had paid like a bunch of money for some what's this company Razer headphones, and they were shit. And
Yeah.
I ended up getting some Logitech something or others that are
Yep.
good for MOBAs, and it's been awesome.
Yep. No,
They're like
Logitech.
$50.
Logitech, dude. It's like Alienware. Razer is a gimmick, dude. It's fucking gimmick.
Yeah,
But yeah, Logitech's real deal. That's what these are. That's what I'm using right now. And I use them for everything. My Logitech mouse, it's really good, dude. It's an excellent mouse and never gives me trouble. I can run 3 separate things off of it. I run 2, not 3. But yeah, no, Logitech's badass. The weird thing with Logitech is over here in Asia, they call it Logic Cool.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the same damn company, but some reason it's logical, and it's like that's really not cool to call something cool, right? You know,
that's it's illogical.
it is illogical. Yeah. So interesting. The other problem is not being at the monitor. I can't really control what I'm doing. Although we were talking about Netflix and their value going up or their prices going up. Now I kind of was curious what you guys thought on it because we know Netflix was they were punching way above their weight because we covered their finances. I don't know what 6 months ago or more. Grimlock. We covered the finances, all the people involved in the Warner Brother bidding, and they're in debt like crazy, dude. So
Which is crazy that I'm I'm not surprised that they've gone up on the pricing because they're trying. I guess they're trying to turn themselves into a broadcasting service rather than what they was from the beginning. Because
Right. It's not a bad idea, really.
yeah, but it wouldn't be bad if they had the infrastructure for that, and I don't think that they do, and they don't seem to know how to do it.
No, right? No, that does. They seem to be kind of floundering. They're here, there, all the time, back and forth on stuff. That is true. But I don't know. A lot of these big companies like Google, what I mean, what the hell is Google doing? Because they keep doing weird stuff, but we know the people behind it, the ones that do all the work, the nerds that they lock in the back room, those guys are freaking geniuses, right? I mean, you're dealing with top end on the planets working on those quantum computer stuff, right? AI and all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. But the front office, dude, is the problem. I guess that's always true, huh? Anyway, very nice. Pour myself some coffee, and I don't even have to take the headphones off. Although I have to say, my HyperX, because that's what my old headphones were, way more comfortable than these things, dude. These things are a bit small for my giant head.
Hmm.
And I doubt I'll get a decade, 12 years out of these. You know,
Maybe it will.
maybe, but you know how they build stuff. It just gets worse and worse. I have stuff that I bought in the 70s and 80s, made of plastic, that are still pristine, dude. But you can't even get a decade with plastic stuff now before it literally starts degrading and falling apart. Plastic. They said that, you remember the Echo stuff about that was like, oh, it's gonna last 1,000 years and pollute the world for 1,000 years. It's like, dude, not anymore. They've made it biodegradable. Anyway, so my question is, why are you still using Netflix? They're a bunch of assholes. Anyway, this next news is pretty cool though.
I think people are using Netflix just out of habit. It's like, oh, it's
Yeah,
what we've been doing.
yeah, yeah.
It's
Fair
kind of
enough.
like cable, because a lot of people said that with cable when Netflix first started to get big, it's like, why are you still on cable? And it's like, oh, it's just what it is.
Actually, I kind of miss cable. I liked. I know this is dumb, but I kind of liked the channel surfing. It's weird, but just kind of looking for something, just going through and seeing the little bits of what was on various stuff. I kind of miss the channel surfing. I don't know. I like cable, but anyway,
It's the original world.
They
yeah,
could have, they could have fixed this. All they had to do, and the fact that they still refuse to do it, and all of them have the ability to do it. You give customers a customizable package. You let them pick the channels they actually fucking want,
yeah,
and just that be your platform.
sure,
Because there's no reason. Oh, we're gonna offer you this 300 channel package, dude. I don't watch 280 of those channels.
that's true.
Like, what the fuck? Why am I paying 300 channels and I have no interest in 280 of them? But
Yeah,
if you gave me an opportunity to pick 50 or hell maybe 100, I'll pay for that.
yeah, yeah,
It's never made sense, and with the technology you have available today, you can't say that it can't be done.
yeah.
It's just that you would rather you know you'd rather let your business burn to the ground than actually give people what they want.
Wow. Yeah, I never had 300. Did it really get that high? I think I had most I had was 80 something.
Like like I know, like when satellite first blew up, like when Dish Network and
Right.
DirecTV first started getting big in the early 2000s. Yeah, you could get like a 300 channel package.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
forgot how much it was. Like, but it's like, dude, most of those channels, I couldn't tell you what the fuck those channels were.
No, no, that's true. And I do remember my back in the late 70s, early 80s, I guess. My uncle actually had one of those gigantic satellites in the backyard, those giant ones, right?
Yep.
And I don't know because he's the only person I knew that had that. I don't know how many channels he had because when I was over there, we were either on the trampoline or playing Atari.
As
My
you do.
Yeah, well, he had money, so he had all the toys, right? Anyway, Alan, why don't you read the headline here?
Is he here?
I think he's here. It's okay, you can read it. Did he? Maybe he dropped out. No, he's still here.
Um, might have went to the bathroom or something.
That's all right. Just go ahead
Fox
and read it.
McCloud joins the Super Mario Galaxy movie, voiced by Glenn Powell.
Now, I didn't really know who Glenn Powell was. I went and checked out, and I do recognize his face. I do recognize his face, but I don't really know this guy. You know this guy?
He's the new. He was in Top Gun. He was the new Iceman, I guess.
Oh, was
New,
he?
bad guy.
Okay. Yeah, no, I
And
know.
then
I
Hollywood
recognize his
been
face.
really
Yeah.
pushing him after that.
He's
Got
in
a
a
big push. He was in the new Twister. He was the Running Man. In the new Running Man.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Yeah, that movie.
Yeah.
It was all right. I mean, it was more accurate to the book, but the Arnold Schwarzenegger one was just more fun, dude. This one
That's
was
a classic.
yeah. But the new Running Man is basically an Antifa wet dream movie, is what that is. Yeah, whatever.
Zero. Now you're just zero.
Yeah, that's right. But okay,
Yeah.
so this guy is going to be Fox. Now, of course, Star Fox, for those younger of you who don't know, that game was a freaking obsession for millions of us. All right. That damn game. Holy shit, dude.
Barrel roll.
Huh?
Do a barrel roll.
Do a barrel roll. I mean, because he had always, you didn't really never saw him very clearly. He was always like this little, they literally make it staticky image on the bottom of the screen because you were basically it's a flight simulator, like a spacey, a spaceship style flight simulator. But played the hell out of that game though. However, this whole article is, oh cool, we got him in here and talking about the other people in the movie, and it's it should be fun. I watched the first one, and for me, it was like, it's a kids movie, but it had the right spirit, right, and it made money. It's not something that I'm necessarily interested in. However, this one sounds like it's going to continue that. They've expanded the cast, but really, what this has done is it's brought up a lot of conversation about them leading into Super Smash Brothers. Now, I played that game actually more than most other games because my kids loved it. So I would play it with them, right? And I was okay at it. I think Mega Knight was the one I was best with. But I could beat my daughter, but my son usually kicked my ass. As it's usually with most fighting games, he's better than me at that. But those kind of fighting games. You guys ever play Super Smash Brothers?
Oh yeah.
You did. Okay. So now this article's all about, well, with him being here, that means Super Smash Bros. Is coming. I don't know why one leads into the other. It's just an iconic Nintendo character, Fox McCloud. But if they did Super Smash Brothers, what kind of story would you make about it, though? I mean,
I don't know, because the whole thing about Smash Brothers was originally it was all the characters in the Nintendo universe colliding.
Yeah, it's just a fighting
And
game.
then over time, it became much bigger than that, to where it became the video game universes colliding. Where with the last one, Super Smash Ultimate, had a fuck ton of guest characters from all across gaming franchises. You had Street Fighter characters, Monster Hunter. You have Sonic, Pac-Man, Steve from Minecraft.
Yeah. The Wii Fit
just
girl.
But it just became like this ultimate I guess you could say like the ultimate video game where everybody's like playing a part in it.
Right. Yeah. It was fun though.
And and
What they
I mean they could go that way, but if they go the Smash Brothers route, holy fuck, is that going to be a lot? Oh, that's going to be licensing hell.
I bet. Yeah. But it's also why what kind of story would you tell with that though? I don't know. And I don't know why him showing up makes them think that that's happening because there's no rumor to that. It's just this character being confirmed. All of a sudden, now that means Super Smash
It's,
Brothers.
it's just people wanting to make something bigger than it. It's like like Alan said about Candace and Tucker. You got to get your engagement, and people will take like the most small thing now, and it's like, oh, you see this? Does that mean this is going to happen now? It's like,
Right.
no.
Well, I
It,
mean,
I know
it's
how it
Super
can
Smash
work.
Brothers probably isn't going to happen just because as of right now, Zelda's universe is separated from the rest of the Nintendo universe because it's doing live action where this is animated. So unless
right.
you have some plans on doing animated Zelda somewhere down the
Mm.
line, it's separated already.
Yeah. No, it's and the thing also with it with 'cause for me when I see this, the first movie had all the standard Mario characters, and of course that includes Koopa and Donkey Kong, and of course it has the standard stuff. And for me, when I see this, oh well, they're just throwing in another really popular character from back in the day. That's all I see. Uh,
See, the thing is, I think it's less about Smash Brothers other than Dextron. I think Nintendo and this is a smart play on their half. I think they're trying to gauge interest in another Star Fox game
yeah,
and what they're
because
or
doing too
maybe
is
even a movie.
having people going, well, let me check out these games that they're talking about.
Yeah, maybe.
because
Yeah,
Star Fox, yes, for guys our age, because Star Fox was like one of those like in the 80s and 90s. We had those moments of with technology took that next step, and it was like, oh shit, look at this, man, this is crazy.
yeah,
And
yeah.
Star Fox was one of those
It,
moments
it
where you're like,
was.
oh, look at this. You
Yeah,
didn't have anything like that. But Star Fox historically has been on the lower end of the Nintendo franchises as far as sales.
yeah.
Like,
I'd
like,
say I'd
like
say so.
it does, like, like it does decently, but it's not a household name.
No, less popular. Certainly less popular, unless you're a
So,
gamer. Yeah,
so if you have a chance to revive this franchise, what better way to do it? Because you already put Donkey Kong in the first movie,
yeah.
even though Donkey Kong really done fair as since the '90s done fairly well as its own franchise,
I think so. Yeah,
and it's already
But
had its games for the Switch
that was
too.
appropriate too, because Mario didn't Mario originate in Donkey Kong?
he did.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did. That's right. But Maple Chic says my friend had one of those Star Wars Hoth satellite dishes when I was a kid. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Those ones. Yeah, yeah.
Now
So
I know how a Smash Brothers movie would work. You have to steal the Captain N formula,
oh God.
but
yeah.
use Mario instead of that Captain N guy, and then you can have everybody in there. Uh, Icarus, Mega Man, the guy from Castlevania. You can do all that,
Yeah.
and then just have them fight the bad guys of the other franchises, and then you got your Smash Brothers movie.
Yep. I mean, but like I said, this is their speculation because I don't know that this means that at all. But if they start hearing people rumoring about that, maybe it will make it a thing. The internet can make things come true. It does happen.
Yep.
But just for the memory of it, Captain N Nintendo. That's what it's for. Holy, this came out when I was older, so I didn't really watch much of it. But damn, Captain N, dude.
Yep, Captain N.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
just steal that formula. and you can have everybody in it. You just pull an Avengers Endgame on there.
Yeah, so instead of calling it Super Smash Bros., just call it Captain N.
I mean, that probably won't fly nowadays.
Probably not.
They should do it in a race swap them. Do it.
Yeah, do it in race swap them.
Well, the good thing is the guys over at Nintendo aren't all about any of that nonsense, right? They're not interested in that silliness.
I know, but they should do it because I want to see the world burn.
Oh, fair, fair. But we'll probably end up watching the second one. Like I said, it's really not for me, but I'll probably end up watching it. I still haven't watched the Minecraft movie. I should probably watch that. I don't know. It just
Man, if you do Captain N, you could put in the gun, you could put in the power glove. You can get nuts on
you
that.
could, dude. You could, and we could get Ryan Gosling to play Captain N because he's the hot
There you go.
schnizzle now.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Robert
loving
Downey
on
Jr.
him.
He can do it.
Right? Yeah. Or maybe we'll be
That's
cursed
Kurt
with
Lazarus.
right, or cursed with more Hayden Christensen.
They're just gonna get Jack Black to do it. Watch.
Probably, dude. Yeah. Steve has the glove. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, let's move on. I'm way behind. Oh, that's all right. I need to go fix this headset anyway. But holy shit. Why don't you read this one, Alan?
Let's see. I'm looking at the screen here. I can't see it. All I see is Star Fox.
You got to look in Discord. If you look in Discord, you'll have the live because YouTube's always delayed.
Oh yeah, no, on Discord it's delayed on me too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Star Fox.
Let me see.
Oh, wait, here, let me.
It's definitely inside Discord. Did you click and come in here with us?
Yeah, I'm in here.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
I'm telling you, man, this thing has a mind of its own.
fair enough. But
oh wait, I can read it. I can read it on YouTube now.
Okay.
Hold on. Harry Potter trailer sparks viral Black Snape AI video and meme.
Yeah. Now, we talked about this a while ago, Grimlock. We've been talking about this way back, right? And it just seems the internet finally caught up and now is like, what's this? Because they dropped a trailer. Now, we didn't know when we were... Yeah, go ahead.
I would say it's not even what I would say. It's not even that they caught up. It's the mainstream has caught up to the memes. The memes have been going on for quite a while.
They have been, yeah. But to be fair, we did finally get a look at him though, and it's bad. It's really bad. The problem with Alan Rickman, the guy who played Snape in the movie series, which once again, I don't even know why we need this series from HBO because the movie was fine. It did exactly what you wanted to do. There's freaking 8 of them. Like I said, we covered this way back, but we didn't know exactly what it looked like. But Alan Rickman was perfect. He looks exactly as the description. Maybe, in the book, he's a little bit more exaggerated nose, than Alan. But for doing a live action of a book, you couldn't get better than Alan Rickman. And of course, the acting ability from that guy is insane. And a lot of people are upset just because it's more race swapping. But those who do know Harry Potter, and I know it because I read it to my kids, Snape is the heart and soul of that story. He's the most important character. It's not Harry. It's not Hermione. It's not Dumbledore. It's not Voldemort for sure. It's Snape. It all links on his ability to put the past behind him and do what's right. It's, he's very important. So you're race swapping this. First of all, anybody stepping into that character would have been scrutinized because of Rickman's performance, right? But you got this guy, and they literally have him in a tracksuit. Look what they got him dressed as. He's got dreads, and he's in a tracksuit.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, that's to me. And here's the sad part. This is actually a step up from what they've done with black dudes who have been race swapped, because at least he doesn't look like a flaming faggot.
Well, that is
Um,
fair. Well, it depends on how you look at dreads, but okay, fine.
well, no, no, because it's a personal taste, but dreadlocks you for up until recently didn't scream gay until everybody started wearing dreads in that one particular style with the freaking frosted tips and all of that shit. Every guy was gay, and then
Yeah,
all of a sudden it became, oh, well, he's got dreads, must be gay.
right. Yeah. Well, it's
It
like,
wasn't that way for the longest time.
well, yeah, but I mean, keep in mind when I was young, you had all the Japanese anime had colored hair girls, and it was, ooh, that's kind of cool. And then look who ruined it, right? Look who
Yeah.
ruined it. But some of those AI videos, dude, are hilarious. Have you seen those?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get a couple of them here. Let me just bring this up and play it real quick. Yeah, look at it. I'm not gonna turn the
The
audio on.
Legion.
I'm Black
You know,
Snape.
everyone's talking about Snape. No one's mentioning
new
how
Blade
what they did
movie,
to
this is the-
Harry.
Really? What did they do to Harry? He looked like a normal kid.
He looks like he's gonna buy a Subaru with his lesbian wife.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, yeah. This is not a meme, though. I want a meme. I want the memes.
You'll only find them on Twitter. The only people brave enough.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, well, I can
Yeah.
do that.
Because Google's gonna throttle you.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Just do a search
Just write
over
in
here.
Snape. Just writing Snape's gonna be like the first things that come up. We've been hacked. Right there. Jeez Louise.
Dropping this motherfucking fried chicken in. Listen up, motherfuckers. This right here, this the one.
Can you guys hear that?
Motherfucking fried
Yes.
chicken
Yep.
in.
But
Now
there's
watch.
a
This
discrepancy here.
motherfucking potion
Purple
that
Fanta,
creates
I don't think is
infinite
legit. I think
watermelon.
Welch's is the
Listen up,
way to go.
motherfuckers. This right here,
Hey, stop.
this the one.
The Welsh is great, man.
Dropping this motherfucking
Yeah, Welch's-
fried chicken in.
Welch's.
Now watch. This the motherfucking
At least,
potion
at least, man.
that
I don't know. Maybe on the
creates
West Coast, they still got it.
infinite
But they
watermelon.
don't have it here.
Listen
Yeah.
up, motherfuckers. This right
I still don't get the chicken and watermelon thing. Everyone likes chicken and watermelon, dude.
You know what the funny thing is? He looks. You know what he looks like in that? I know it's AI, but he looks like Kel from Kenan and Kel.
Yeah,
Yeah, I see
More
that
than-
a lot.
yeah. This is way too cool. That guy's skinnier than this. This guy's buff. I love everyone's using the gun memes, though.
Yeah.
Unbelievable,
First lady
dude.
from Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah, this one I remember seeing. I saw this one. Do AI, the meme tool that AI is, oh goodness gracious.
That's my bike now, punk.
Oh shit.
That's my bike now, punk.
So they steal bikes, is that what they're saying? Uh-oh. We got Big Mama. What you doing, Big Mama?
Oh, no. You mess with Lil Sevy, you messing with Auntie.
Oh, we don't want to mess with Auntie.
Oh, no. You mess with Lil Sevy, you messing with Auntie.
You know, it's AI, but AI is very accurate,
Oh,
man.
no.
I've seen many
You mess with
ladies
Lil
look
Sevy,
like that.
You messing with Auntie.
Like a
Oh, yeah.
freaking cannonball.
Oh, no. You messing
Speaking
with
of
Lil
Running
Sevy,
Man, we're
you
living in
messing
it.
with Auntie.
Yeah, right?
Oh, no. You mess with Lil Sevy, you messing with Auntie.
Okay, Auntie.
Oh, no. You mess with Lil Sevy,
Goodness gracious.
Potter, my G.
Well, so they're,
Run! That's Harry Potter. Are you really Harry Potter, my G?
by gin? What does that mean?
Type shit.
Gee.
Type shit.
None of that, broski. We're all here on the Maybach Express for one reason and one reason only, and that's to go to Dripwatts, the School of Drip.
Maybach music.
What's the
Oh, no.
deal with the Maybach? They don't even say it correctly. It's not Maybach, it's Maybach.
Oh, AI trying to pronounce it too.
That's Harry Potter. Are you really Harry Potter, my G?
My gin. I haven't heard that before.
Type
You
shit,
guys?
Type shit.
Type shit. Type
He's
shit.
saying my
No.
G now.
None of that. None
Yeah,
of that.
I'm pretty sure it's just AI screwing up.
Oh, I see. Once again with the watermelons. It's sad, dude. It's just sad.
Well, you know the stupid thing is that in these books,
It's your boy Snape gonna teach you lot about
they
potions, boy.
she gives a very detailed
Potions is good for
description of
everything. Potions get
Snape,
them galleons.
what he looks like and
Potions
who
get
he
super
is.
fine hoes. You need to put a fool on ice.
So how are you gonna explain this in the show?
Right. No, we know exactly what Snape looks like. She actually is quite descriptive. This is an older one though, because this has him making. They were actually trying to see how would they make Black Snape, and they gave him the hair, but no, they dreaded him. They didn't. And the memers must be just beside themselves with laughter. Not only did they race swap him, they actually put him in dreads and a tracksuit, literally.
Because they always go to the most stereotypical shit, and it's
They do, dude.
you guys prove yourselves every time to be more racist than the people you are crying that are racist.
That's true. They're rolling a
Like
doobie.
you could have given him a low cut, you could have given him a fade, you could have given him all kinds of hairstyles if you wanted to go with a typical black hairstyle, but you went with dreads.
Right.
Now, granted, you didn't go with the gay dreads, so I guess that's a step up. And he's not wearing a dress, and he doesn't have a purse, so I guess that's also a step up.
I suppose that's true, right? Although, one thing though that I have to say about the purse thing, I do carry a haversack myself, right? I don't carry like a purse; it hangs off the back of me, but that's very valuable to me, and mostly it stays in the car. But it's got all my stuff I need. And it's really unfortunate in America that men are not allowed to carry any kind of bag. I guess the backpack is the only minimal thing, but even that has stigma attached to it. It's
No,
unfortunate.
you can carry a bag, but them dudes just freaking carrying purses, and there wasn't even being subtle about it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, it is. I know what you're talking about. But that culture is a bit dumb because bags are very handy, dude. They're very handy. I mean, mostly I just leave mine in my car and just take my because these days we don't even have keys anymore. Really, we just have those little key fobs, right, that automatically do everything. But I just throw that in my pocket, leave the bag in the car. But it's got my tablet in it, my laptop. It's got all the various bits and baubles that you can use outside of the house that you should have on you. I keep it in there. So
I got a backpack. I have a clear backpack because I go through a metal detector at work every fucking morning. So
See, Alpha Proto already. Chester's a hipster. Okay, I guess I am. Yeah, I was once again disappointed. I went to this outlet store in because I was the baby was born, right? So we went up to see the baby, and I have to say, and this is probably just Grandpa talking, but he was at least symmetrical. I know, like, oh, babies are so cute. That's not true at all, dude. A lot of babies are ugly as shit when they first come out. It takes time for them to develop into whatever they're going to look like, right? But he actually not bad looking kid. He's pretty symmetrical. His eyes are gray, like mine. His feet look just like mine. And I immediately said I had nothing to do with it.
the kaiju genes are strong with this one.
Yeah, they are. So yeah, I hope he keeps the gray eyes. But who knows? Because like my daughter was born with really nice shocker red hair. But her hair went brown, dark brown, I guess. But my son looks 100% Asian. He doesn't look have any of that look. He's a little bit taller, I guess, but not much. Yeah, it was pretty good. Neither one of you guys are a grandpa, huh?
No.
No. I move like one sometimes, but
Oh, fair. Yeah, no, I find myself now, before I go and walk in the street, any kind of distance, I need to do stretches first. You got to stretch for the walking. How sad is that? But it is what it is.
I heard a comedian once say, you're getting old when you hurt yourself sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah. It happens, though. But that was pretty cool. First time grandpa got to hold the baby, and he was super chill. Of course, my son and his wife were like, how come he's so quiet with you? It's because, dude, I'm not panicking about shit like you are. Right? Because they're all hyped. They just had a baby, right? She's in pain, and of course, she just had a baby, and he's a new dad, so they had all that energy. Babies can feel that shit, man.
Mhm.
But I mean, think about it though with a baby, right? He's in a nice, dark, tight place. He's being hugged all the time by her abdomen muscles, right? And it's dark. Matter of fact, babies can't even see the first few days because they're blind. They're born blind. Because they've been in the dark the whole time. They never used their lungs before, right? So they come into the world. They no longer are being embraced by anything, so they have this looseness. They're now all of a sudden they're using lungs, which they've never used before. They got sound. Imagine the chaos for a brand new baby in the world, right? And then it's getting all these emotional keys, just the energy coming off of people panicking around them because we understand why. It's no surprise why a baby is just in constant consternation, right?
That would be a weird memory too.
It would be, yeah. I'm pretty happy because I do unfortunately have a pretty long memory, but my memory only goes back to around 1 year old. So. Luckily, I don't have memory because some people do have memories going back that far, dude. They do.
Yeah, I remember a lot of things from when I'm an infant.
Yeah, I don't. I was in a crib, and I remember the memory, and I know my parents said you're around 11, 12 months old when we're in that house. So I know the age setting, but luckily I don't have it earlier because that would kind of suck. I don't want to have infant memories.
Yeah. Like I don't remember breastfeeding. Thank God, that would ruin me.
But I think our subconscious remembers though. We do like those tatas, buddy. Yeah,
that's true. Very true.
Yeah, yeah, and it's also maybe explains why women have, even though they're not lesbians, women will have no problem touching each other's breasts. Have you noticed that about women?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. It's a weird thing. It's like we don't go around touching each other's dicks. I hope we don't. Anyway,
Yeah.
Or any other body part for that matter.
I'm in LA.
Yeah, fair.
Here in Kevin Spacey's house, it happens.
It happens. But you know what I mean. Men don't interact like that. We might shake each other's hand and stuff like that, but we don't do like that. Yeah, man, women are weird that way. But it's probably coming from breastfeeding, right? They just look at it different than we do. So, can you guys say something? I accidentally hit a button.
Hello?
Okay.
Tinkering shit.
Titties, 1, 2.
1, 2. Yes, good. It's good. We can hear the titties now. Very good. Anyway, this is dumb. We knew it was going to be dumb, but like I said, we've been covering this for a while. But we finally got to look at him though. How he's looking, and I get you, Grimlock. I 100%, and you're right. But I just can't believe they did this, dude. Look at this. It's so bad, dude. I mean, you could have done all kind of things with his. They should put him in a standard professor's gown, like they had from the show, and given him just standard hair, right? Why did they dude, not only did they dread him out, they put him in a tracksuit. I mean, my God, dude. My God.
Probably, had the straight hair and it probably looked like Andre 3000.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's so ridiculous that they would do this. I mean, don't they have any self-awareness whatsoever? This is worse than I could have ever imagined, dude. It's worse than I could have imagined. I just don't get it. You literally put him in a tracksuit. What the hell is wrong with you? Snape is a very, very capable wizard. He's more leans toward the chemistry, but he's very capable, very smart, and very integral to your story. And you literally ghetto him out. I mean, wow, dude.
Mhm.
Wow. And I get the joke on some of those memes, but if you watch the trailer, everyone else looks pretty normal, and they're not ghettoed out at all. Now, the girl who's playing Hermione is a bit darker than the other girl, the Emma Watson girl, but I don't think it's too off the book though. And she is the girl that did the audio, the voice of Hermione for like the game and or something. She did the voice of Hermione. So she's been attached to this character for a while. So, rock on. All the other casting looks pretty normal, although there's one Australian guy who sounds very Australian that people are picking on, playing Hagrid. But this is just outrageous, dude. I mean, if you had to race swap somebody, if you had to, and you have no choice, who do you pick? Because Snape's not the right one.
Who would Dumbledore?
Maybe Dumbledore. You could have done Dumbledore. You could have done
Yeah, if you
Hagrid.
could throw, like, a Morgan Freeman to do Dumbledore, it would fit.
It would be fine, yeah. And Hagrid maybe.
Oh, Hagrid, yeah, Hagrid would work, sure.
Sure, but
Get Kevin Hart to do Hagrid. It'll be hilarious.
it would be hilarious. Size him up. That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. This is a train wreck. We knew it was going to be, but I just can't believe they went to this level. It's so ridiculous. Let me do one more. And
It would have been less offensive to gender swap them.
It would have been. It would have been. You're right. It's just outrageous. The way they did it, it's just ridiculous. And this guy's an actual African, so he's going to have an African accent. It's not going to sound right at all. Anyway, let me just kind of quickly go through a couple things because I need to get off of here and work on this mic before I go to work. But just real quick, go ahead and read this one. Somebody. Grimlock, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead, Grimlock.
Insufferable faggot writing next Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Now,
Movie after the Hunt for the Golem.
right. And who knows how that's going to turn out. Peter Jackson's involved, so that's a good thing. Now,
It's
here,
dead now. It's dead on arrival. The moment they announced that little faggot, whatever goodwill you had for this movie is dead.
it is.
I think people are mostly underselling how unlikable that little faggot is.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're 100% right. May I play devil's advocate for a second, though? Because, yes, Stephen has burnt every bridge he built up on the Colbert Report. Now, we know that was satire, obviously, but it was well written. It was funny as hell. The Colbert Report was excellent, excellent TV.
Of course not.
What do you say?
No, it was not.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I watched it for years. It was funny as hell, dude. Now, I know it's satire. I get it's satire, but it was funny.
It wasn't just. I watched that show, and if it wasn't, look, this dude was a failure in every other thing he's ever done, other than gargle Jon Stewart's nuts.
Well, Stewart is
If
funnier.
it wasn't for him using fucking using Jon Stewart's balls like Listerine, you would not know who this little fuck is.
Probably not. That's probably true. And of course, there was a huge team of writers, and we know that he was just the face for it. But that's not my point. Here is the point I'm trying to make. When this became announced, everyone jumped on it because he's become so hated. He literally burnt every bridge. He's ruined any kind of, just like Robert De Niro. They've ruined any kind of legacy they could possibly have, right? I get it. However, when they announced this, it didn't bother me for a second because one thing I do know about Stephen, because he never shuts up about it, he loves Lord of the Rings, legitimately. Matter of fact, the game, Lord of the Rings Online, he actually is in that game because of him being famous and being such a Tolkien fan. He knows these books backward and forward, dude. He really does. I mean, legit, right? And when he talks about Lord of the Rings, all his propaganda shill facade drops, and he becomes a nerd talking about Lord of the Rings. I actually have zero worry about this. I know he will make something. He will write something very accurate to Lord of the Rings. I know he will. He will not betray that. He will betray other things because you pay him money, but he won't betray Lord of the Rings. He's a true believer, dude. Telling you.
You just said any man who has his little problem selling his own soul is not going to all of a sudden find integrity
No.
in one area.
We all have that
So
little
no,
thing that we never betray within ourselves, and I'm telling you, the Lord of the Rings is that thing for him.
he's already betrayed it. No,
No,
I
I
said
don't agree.
well,
Yeah.
you may not agree, but we've seen this. We've seen this rodeo before, and we've seen how this plays out.
Yeah, I'll probably end up wrong.
And
You're right.
and we've seen the quote unquote Uber fan that loves this so much, and they get a chance to write it, and then they can't get their perverse bullshit out of the way. And look, we know what he is.
We
And
do know
like
what he
you said,
is. We do.
he's
Yeah.
burnt. Let's play. Let's give you the benefit of the doubt. Say he writes a great Lord of the Rings story
Right.
that nobody's asking for. Number one, let's
Right.
get that out. Nobody's asking. Two, and that includes Tolkien fans. They're not asking.
Well,
And after the fucking Rings of Power, they're definitely not asking.
no, that's true. The
So
Rings part definitely hurt things, but he is writing about a chunk of the story around the Fellowship coming together, and before they went to Mordor, that the movie just cut it completely out because they didn't have time; they had to condense. He's going to be doing that story, so just for information's sake. Continue. Go ahead. Yeah.
well, as I've said before, like there's certain. I'll say this, and maybe it's not the case for you. There are certain things, and maybe Alan's the same way. That the moment you see it, it's an automatic no.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
Yeah.
you guys are already privy of my psychotic hatred of Tom Cruise. I don't give a fuck if it's the greatest movie ever made. If I find out that little half a bastard's in it, I'm not watching.
Fair enough.
Um,
Yeah, but he never
but he's
makes
not the only.
anything that great anyway.
But he's not the only one. It's Pedro Pascal, and
Yeah,
and and I'm not the only one who thought it. He single handedly killed the Fantastic Four.
he did.
Um,
He did.
and this and I know you made the comparison between him and De Niro burning bridges. Robert De Niro's body of work wipes his ass with Stephen Colbert's. Robert De Niro's worst movie is better than fucking Stephen Colbert's biggest accomplishment. Yes,
That's true. Yeah,
Robert
sure. Yeah.
De Niro's TDS is just as insufferable as his. But with De Niro, we're like, dude, just shut the fuck up and be Robert De Niro. Nobody gives a shit about who you go for. Go get another black woman pregnant and do a movie. Just shut the fuck up.
That fair
With
enough.
this dude, just take a trip to good old CKY. That's what most people want for Colbert. Just take a good old trip to good old Camp Kill Yourself.
Fair
Nobody
enough.
wants. He he he's doesn't have the track record, nor does he have the goodwill to come in and already, and like we said, based on what's happened with Lord of the Rings these last 5 years, to go into a wounded fandom and put this prick in and think that's going to heal things. Yeah.
I don't know if that's on the
Well,
mindset at all.
you have. I'll put it this way: you have a better chance of getting a white supremacist to get the Bloods and Crips to do a ceasefire than him to freaking unite the Lord of the Rings fan base.
I can't tell him and Rachel Maddow apart sometimes.
Well, they're both
Yeah.
grinding dykes, so yeah.
That is fair. That is fair. But I'm just saying that he does actually love Tolkien. He literally does. But I get your point. It's kind of for me like Timothy Chalamet. Now, Chalamet hadn't done anything particularly offensive. Matter of fact, he's made a couple of statements that's put him out with the woke, and his career is crumbling because of it. So fair. But so for me, it's no politics to Timothy Chalamet. I just can't stand the little manlet. right? And
Yeah.
but everybody, Thundero and others keep saying, no, dude, he's great. I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
I personally don't care for Chalamet. I don't see his appeal, but
I don't either. He's just this weird little twink thing. And it's like, why? It's like Tom Holland is another one. It's like, why do I have to keep having that kid in my face?
because he's an effeminate male, and that's always popular in Hollywood.
I guess so. I mean, I didn't want to take too much time on this, but just real quick because I do need to get off here. But with Avengers, they still don't have a freaking script, dude.
Nobody should be shocked by that.
Why? What are you talking about, dude? How in the hell you have a movie coming out in a year and you don't even have a script?
A movie coming out in 8 months.
8 months. Thank you. Thank you. But yet they don't even have a freaking script, dude. It's insane.
It's Marvel method.
Yeah, just throw stuff at it until it comes together naturally, I guess.
Yeah, you film it first and then you put in the dialogue later.
And we are getting a lot of X-Men in this, so they are setting it up, dude. But, there's not much to talk about because the problem is we have no script. We don't know what the hell. People keep speculating and saying this is going to be and this is going to be. And then the next week something changes. And the reason is because they don't know what they're doing yet. It's coming out in 8 months. I'm sure they got a lot of footage here or there. They'll try to edit together, like you said. But they have no clue what the story they're telling. It's insane, dude. It's just typical nonsense. So here's the one I want to cover before we finish today. Go ahead.
Well, part of the reason they don't have a story is because they keep running. They keep running back and forth to the focus group.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah. Anyway, read this headline here, Grimlock, because this is hilarious.
Hamish Patel joins Ryan Coogler X-Files reboot opposite Danielle Deadwater.
Deadweiler, yeah. Now, this is hilarious to me. Now, the lady who played Scully is going to be on it. David Duchovny said nope, and of course, because he's smarter than that. This is not the Fox and Mulder. These are new characters, but they're rebooting the X-Files with nary a white person in sight, of course. And it's like, well, once again, the Indian Persian looking guy, his name is Indian, so I'll go with that. Whatever. Okay. Who knows? But once again, a black lady who is smarter than everybody, clean CEO, scientist type. It's like, you do realize that, they're screaming about the current 500,000 black women that have been laid off, but it's actually more like 1.2, 1.3 million of them. And they are screaming racism. Would you like to guess why so many black ladies who look just like her lost their jobs? Would you like to get? Because the racism is a serious claim, right? So they went and researched, okay, why did so many black ladies lose their job? Would you like to guess why they lost their job? Any, just shoot wildly into the wind.
Besides the fact that many of them held useless positions.
Well, that's a big problem because the Democrats, instead of creating real jobs, they just went and made a bunch of fake jobs in the government, gave people money and jobs, therefore taking more taxpayer money. That's part of it, but that was the first layoff. This current 500,000 layoff is coming for different reasons. What do you think?
They're always late?
They're always fucking late, dude. They're always late. They show up with those damn shower caps on all the time, not sticking to the code, the dress code, because pretty much every place you work has a dress code of some kind, right? They're wearing those damn. Why? What's the obsession with shower caps, dude? I'm talking to you, Grimlock.
I don't know because I'm not wearing one.
No, well, you would. Well, dude, I see dudes wearing shower caps.
It's laziness, really. That's really what it comes down to. It's when I was a kid, and I'm sure Alan can say this too, because this used to be a universal thing. When you was getting ready to go to school, you would get, you get dressed, if your mom laid out your clothes or if you went and picked out your clothes, you had to look neat and orderly. Like my parents would be like, you wasn't raised by wolves.
That's right. Yeah, that's pretty standard thing. Yeah,
And you would go out, you couldn't go outside the house without combing your hair.
that's right.
Whether it was me or my siblings, because
Brush your teeth, comb your
you
hair. Yeah,
brush your teeth, comb your hair, look neat, don't look like was raised by wolves.
yeah. Zip your zipper. All that stuff. Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, that standard has just disappeared. Where people
Yeah,
they
but
walk out the house, but
yeah, but what's the purpose of the shower cap, though? What is it? Just a fashion item? What's the purpose?
no, it's because they haven't done their hair. It's
I
because
think some of it's become
they haven't done their hair. They look a mess, and instead of just
well,
making sure their shit's straight before they leave the house. Oh, I'll throw a shower cap on.
Okay.
yeah, a lot of it. You'll notice that it's mostly worn in the south, and I think it has a lot to do with the moisture in the air and not to frizz up.
Yeah.
Well, they do have frizzable hair. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, so
I
you wear
mean,
the shower
lean
cap
into
to
it.
keep the condition and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, lean into it, right? I mean, I don't understand. They complain about white people constantly, but everything they do emulates white people. It's like, what are you doing? If you hate white so much, then start being black. I mean, how hard is that? But everything they do with their hairstyles, their clothing, everything is emulating the white lady, right? The black dudes at least are a little bit more independent. They have their own thing going on, but the black ladies are all about being white. And it's weird because all they do is bitch about white people. It's like, what is wrong with you? Literally. Your hair is different. You're not a white girl. You're not Asian. You're none of that. You're different. So just ride with it, dude. I've seen plenty of black African ladies who don't do that. Well, some do. That look just fine with their natural hair doing their own thing with it. I don't get this nonsense because I'm assuming that's what it is. They're trying to white their hair up and therefore they're covering it up because they didn't preen it out enough or something. I don't know. But that fucking shower cap thing, they call it a bonnet. It's like, dude, you don't know what a bonnet is even. You don't even know the word you're using. That is not a bonnet.
Well, because most people, when they think shower cap, they think those little thin plastic ones that
Yeah, but that's not a bonnet. That's closer to a beret, not a bonnet. A bonnet is a very specific thing, right? And no one wears them anymore outside of Quaker and Amish Mennonite households.
Granny core.
See, and the first thing comes up is all these ladies' shower caps, these beret. But that's not what this is. A bonnet right here. There you go. That's what a bonnet is. It's a very specific thing right there. That's not what they're wearing. They're wearing shower caps. But I don't even give a shit about that. It's like you do whatever you want. That's your culture. Fair enough. But the thing is, you're at work, dude. You're at work. We all have to wear a costume at work, whether it be a suit or, whatever. If you work fast food, they have a uniform of some kind, or it doesn't matter. If you like Grimlock, well, you do something with trucks or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you have some manner of uniform you have to wear, right?
Particularly like the one thing we have, like steel toes.
Yeah.
We gotta wear the vest that has the neon stuff, the
That's right.
reflective stuff that people can see you.
That's right. Yeah.
But for the most part, but even then, they want you to be in there. They said no clothes with holes in them, stains in them.
Sure.
They're actually very specific about that.
Don't represent, dude. I get it. What about you, Alan? What do you have to wear at your job?
Non-slip shoes, a black shirt with the name of the company on it.
Sure. Yeah. And there's
And
nothing
I have
wrong with
to
that.
comb my hair, make sure that my hair is nice and neat.
Of course. That's
My facial hair
basic.
is scrubbed.
Yeah, that's basic shit, though. I have to wear a suit. That's my uniform, right? Now, my classroom with the kids, I do wear a different type of uniform, but it's still a uniform. We all wear uniforms at work. It is what it is. And they can't do that. But the thing that's the worst of it isn't the lateness and their lack of care of a uniformity for the business they're working at. The biggest problem, the number one reason why they're getting fired, is because they're constantly screaming at HR about racism and threatening to sue.
Yes.
That's the problem. And here's the thing that a lot of people, unless you've been an employer or at least management level, that people don't seem to get. It costs money to hire you.
Yes.
When they hire a new worker, that's not a free thing. It costs money. Maybe they have uniforms they give out. It costs money in running processing. It costs money in training. It's not a cheap thing to hire a new employee. And you are running, depending on what industry you're dealing with, fast food or service industry being the highest turnover. But you're trying to hire someone that you can at least get enough time out of and work out of that are profitable to your costs. This is what management thinks about. So, when we went through the age of, you got to, Black Lives Matter, which once again, I'll say, no, they don't. Black lives do not matter. Very few lives actually matter. They're very few. Black lives don't matter. White lives, red lives, yellow lives, purple lives. Your life doesn't matter. It doesn't outside of your own family and friends, unless you are someone very special. But we went to that damn Black Lives Matter age, and everybody thought they had to hire black people or they would look like they were racist, and it absolutely screwed them over. They've lost just millions of dollars the industries have lost by doing so. Because the problem with these ladies, and notice this, that black men haven't lost jobs, it's black women. The problem with these ladies is they have no appreciation for what they got. That's a problem.
Well, that's because, as I've said before, DEI, affirmative action, all of those programs set people up to fail. And the reason why black men haven't lost jobs is because none of the programs benefited them. It was those programs, in most cases, overwhelmingly worked against them. And most men tend to work more blue collar jobs.
Yeah.
So blue collar jobs don't have the fucking problems that these other jobs have, where they created these big ass HR departments where you can essentially bitch and moan about anything and everything. And you can have, especially in states like California, where you can go file a lawsuit for pretty much anything. So a lot of this was, the company's own doing, and now they're blaming Trump, but Trump just gave them the out that they was looking for to get rid of a long.
Trump had nothing to do with it, dude. They just saw an opportunity and took it because they're desperate. That's true.
Yeah. Well, they're just using him to pass the buck.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is Trump's fault, but a lot of these companies have been looking for a way to get rid of these bitches because they know they're not going to say it out loud. Most of the people they hired, if they was to have been hired on merit, they wouldn't have gotten the job in the first place.
No.
So they mostly, like you said, they come in, and to be honest, they're violating company policy in most cases. Most of them are coming in there late. Most of them are coming in there out of dress code, and most of them are coming there with a bad fucking attitude. But because of the atmosphere they created, where, oh, well, we can't say this to them because that's a microaggression, and microaggressions are usually coded in racism. So
of
now
course,
you put yourself into this ideological corner, and you didn't have a way out, and inadvertently Trump came by getting rid of. Well, he's not getting rid of DEI. DEI is not going anywhere. DEI just changed their name and their tactics. But making a pledge to get rid of DEI gave these companies the out they needed.
Yeah. No, I understand what's happening. You're right. But there's two things to keep in mind with this as well. I actually saw one of those ladies complaining about racism, and she's like, "What does it matter if I'm 30 minutes late?" And it's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Do you have no
But that's
respect?"
all of it.
Yeah, but do you have no respect for the other people you work with?
No, they
Right?
don't. And
Clearly,
I'm gonna say and I'm gonna say this: it's not even just a black woman thing; it's a woman thing in general.
right?
Because
Which, yeah,
I don't know if you've ever seen those videos. It was a trend. It's still kind of going, but it's not as much as before because a lot of them got fired. Um, remember about 5 or 6 years ago, it was one of the popular trends on social media was, "Oh, here's a day in my life at such and such tech company,"
yeah,
and
yeah. I hate
it'd
those.
be someone, "Oh, here's a day in my life at this tech company," and then you hear them, "Oh, I came in at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock." I'm like, "Bitch, ain't you late? You coming in at 10 o'clock? Aren't you late?" And then like, "Oh, the first thing I do when I get in is I go to the cafeteria to get a coffee and get a snack." I'm like, "Bitch, you just walked in. You're already late in the evening."
Yeah, but those jobs, understand what's happening with those jobs. Because of the tax burden that companies have, especially big ones like, say, Apple, that's what you're talking about. Um,
Well, it
the
wasn't just Apple; it was a bunch of them. But most of
Yeah,
those
but
women got fired.
they
Is what
have,
I'm saying.
which was my next point that I'm going to make. But the thing you have to understand is those big companies, because of their tax burdens, they need to spend money internally to show so they can reduce their tax burden. And one of the tactics they've been doing here for a while is just hiring useless people to just get to have money going out so they can reduce their taxes. That's why they're doing this, right? But yeah, that's the other point that I was about to make. Everyone's focused on the black lady screaming racism, but actually a lot of women have lost their job. A lot. And it has nothing to do with Trump. It has to, well, in a way it does. It's these companies like, oh God, I can finally unburden myself of this nonsense. And I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of companies to begin to dissolve the brand new concept of HR. Because remember, when I was younger, I never heard of it. There was no such thing, right? This is a
Yeah, there
new
was
idea.
HR. That wasn't the thing because most of these jobs have men, and you know how men used to handle shit. You have a disagreement, you go to the boss. It's like, "Look, you go over there, you go over here. You don't fuck with him, you don't fuck with him.
Right.
If you two keep it up, you two keep it up, I'll fire the both of you."
Yep.
Or
And
or
this is what.
depending on depending on the boss you had, like, "Look, you two take it out back, and when you get done beating each other's ass, you get back to work."
Yep. No, that's true. And of course, this is why amongst black men, because we started a conversation to talk about black people, don't have there is no significant difference in the hiring and firing within their demographic. They're just just like every other dude, right? So now you could go look at unemployment amongst black community, and that could be a different conversation. But the black men who have jobs are not interacting with them any different than any other dude, right? So that's a thing that needs to take in, because a lot of people say this is culture, and fair enough. I understand that there are certain cultures that are troublesome. We started this whole conversation about the inbreeding and the low IQ of the Islamic horde that exists in the world, and it's true. But that aside, it's a very important statistic that the black dudes are not getting fired at any unusual rate, right? And it tells you a lot. I think it is a difference between men and women, but it's also has a lot to do with entitlement, because the black men have not are basically just as disenfranchised as any other dude, right? And that, I think, has a big part of it. I don't know. That's a guess on my part. But yay, X-Files. The
truth is out there.
The truth is out there, boy. Now, do you think this show is going to cover any of the X-Files stuff, or is it going to be white man bad?
It should be a purely sci-fi show, but
It should be. And if it is, it might actually have some legs. If it's just normal, it might have some legs.
and Ryan Coogler is a good director, but he's never, in my opinion, he's never done anything that didn't have a little bit of racial undertone to it. So I don't expect him to be anything different now. But
No, it'll be
other
racial
question-
because it's Ryan Coogler.
the other
100%.
question-
Yeah.
is not even about Ryan Coogler.
About the bonnet.
Yeah.
The other thing that I find myself asking is, and this is what I've been asking often lately, is did anybody ask for this? Because when they had the first X-Files reboot, when they brought back Mulder and Scully, and
Yeah, but they woke it up, though. But yeah, I get your point. Yeah.
and it was, well, not just woke it up, it wasn't that good. Like it
Yeah, it wasn't.
woke shit aside, it wasn't even that good, and it just kind of ruined shit after people was asking for that for 15 years, and they, brought us a steaming pile of shit. Like, was anybody asking for another X-Files reboot? Because the shit that people actually wanted to see rebooted, we didn't get, and the shit that we don't want touched, they can't stop fucking with.
Right. Yeah. I'm just kind of looking over here at some of the African headwear that the ladies, actually wear. That's cultural, and I'm wondering, is this what they're trying to emulate in America? Do you think that's what they're doing?
But it's like,
No, because I remember in the 90s, there was freaking women who they just wore that.
Yeah, they did.
oh yeah, Queen Latifah.
Queen Latifah. Yeah, that's true. I mean, some of the headwear. I mean, it's not our culture, but it looks fine. I mean,
Yes.
Well,
I
particularly this,
remember
and then look at this beautiful one right here. She's gorgeous too.
You also
Remember
got
at
to
one point,
represent the area that you're from, right?
Yeah, of course.
and to me, it wasn't out of place. Like they just wore it. But again, look at all of those. Look at all of the women in those pictures. All
Beautiful.
of them look like
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
they're good looking, but look how neat and put together they are. Like the makeup looks good.
Look at these ladies. That's three beauties right there.
Looks good. Everything looks good. It don't look sloppy. It don't look like she just rolled up out of bed.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, and
that-
threw some shit together and stuff outside.
Well, it brings us into one of my favorite black actresses of all time, the absolute smoking. Last thing I saw her in, she was like Black Panther's mama.
Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett.
Oh yeah, Angela
Oh, yeah.
Bassett, dude. I've talked about her before. That lady is wow, dude. I mean, come on,
She should have been Storm in the beginning.
dude. Oh god, she's so drop dead sexy. She's a good actor too. I think they're trying to emulate that. Oh, look at that lady, and she's old now, and she's still smoking, dude.
They could have, but I mean, they if they wanted to, they could still aspire to look like her. I mean, it ain't like they don't have examples to pull from.
No, I mean, aside with the diet issues that they have, that's rampant in America. It's not even in the black community. But here I knew I'd find a picture with her wearing exactly what I'm talking about, because I've seen her many times wear African attire, which makes sense. I mean, kind of. She's not really African, but it looks good on her, man. So I have a feeling, I've always felt with this bonnet thing that this is what they're trying to emulate, but they're just lazy ass about it. Hey, Booster, I like Pretty Lady. I don't really give a shit what color she is. Now to be fair, a lot of black women's faces are very bony, and I don't like it, to be fair. But there are plenty of black ladies who are gorgeous. I mean, it is what it is. It's just like Indian ladies in general. I don't find them, Indians. I don't find them particularly attractive overall, but I've seen some absolute stunners. Haven't we all?
Oh yeah.
Everybody's
Freaking,
got beautiful
Jonas
women.
Brothers, like she's a knockout.
Which one?
I forget her name up my head, but the Nick Jones's wife, something Chopra. She's like an Indian actress.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous.
Well, I mean, JD Vance's wife, she's a normal lady, but she's a cutie. But I mean, yeah, I don't care, Booster. What do I care about someone's color? It doesn't mean anything to me. Just, but I mean, I'll acknowledge that I definitely lean, I find Asian women with their small faces and petite forms more attractive. I do. But I've seen Polish women who aren't necessarily, or Romanians aren't necessarily the prettiest people on the planet, buddy. But I've seen some beauties. I'm sure.
Some names are all named Hagatha. No Hagathas are ever called that.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Let us see if I can get this in here. Beautiful Polish women, because Polish women tend to be like the most unattractive women on the planet, right? But yeah, look at that. Boom.
They look like they can deadlift a cow sometimes.
They can, but I mean, instantly, boom, 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 right? Beauties everywhere. Every culture has them, But I don't know. That's my opinion. What do you guys? What's your opinion on the least attractive racial or cultural group?
Least
I mean,
What was that?
Least attractive.
Generally, yeah, because like I
Somali.
said, Somali. I've seen some real pretty Somalis though. Like Ilana Omar is an absolute snake in the grass, but she's a pretty lady, dude. You don't think Ilan's beautiful?
No.
Nope.
She looks like a voodoo doll come to life.
Approaching Aboriginals.
Yeah, they have pretty ladies, dude, for sure. Like I said, Ilan Omar, she's a pretty lady.
And I like I said that I've seen.
But that's
pretty
your
ladies
taste.
in all.
I get it. Yeah.
But usually, like if I were to look at a group of ladies, I'm like, I'm not into it.
Yeah, no, I get you. I understand that. That looks AI to me, but that is a stunner right there. Look at that lady. But no, everybody's different. For me, the Baltic people are the least attractive, in my opinion. What about you, Grimlock?
Oh, I have a race of people that well, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Aboriginals, it depends. If they're highly mixed, they can be quite attractive. But yeah, I get you with the Aboriginals too. What about you, Grimlock? Because it's to each his own, right? This is personal taste.
I've seen dogs in every group.
There are, but is there one particular group that just doesn't interest you?
Might be Korean girls. Might be Korean.
The Koreans. They do have wide, thick heads. That's true. That is true.
Not even. Okay,
I was gonna say like Southern Asian girls. Sometimes I don't.
Well, because
Yeah.
I wear at work, I've seen plenty of them, and I have seen the porcelain skin in person, and it's kind of wild.
Sure. They're the whitest people in the world, the Japanese and Koreans, dude. They're the actual white people. Yeah, that's true.
But I guess some people be like, "Oh, you're objectifying what I'm about to say," but
Yes.
Koreans just don't have no type of body.
No, the Asian girls tend to be quite thin and not much to them. That's true. That is true.
Well, no, I've seen like, I don't know why, but I've never seen a flat-chested Vietnamese girl. I don't know how maybe I've just run into every big-breasted Vietnamese woman there is. But
No, mostly they're flat. Actually, I've interacted with a lot of Vietnamese. They're mostly flat. You've just been lucky. But I'm
Like I
not
said,
talking about
they're lucky.
because you
They're
guys know I
tiny,
like.
but
Yeah, but I think Vietnamese can be quite beautiful. You guys know I like Asian girls, but it's more of their face. I mean, body wise, if I want like a gorgeous woman body, give me a Scandinavian any day, right? Any day, because those girls are going to be banging in each spot that matters. Yeah, and Filipinos are a little bit, but they're mixed though. They're basically the Spanish learned from their Muslim masters, and every place they went in, they raped out the population. So it's going to the Philippines and find a pure-blooded Filipino is hard. I mean, that's why they look so different than the Thai and Indonesians. They shouldn't. They're exactly the same people. We call that group the Malay, right? They're all the same, but the Filipinos don't look anything like them, right? And that's because of all the Spanish DNA in them. But yeah, they're going to be larger breasted. That is true.
Oh, I got a good one. Samoan girls. Only because they're so big, and I'm a midget.
they are giant.
So-
No, that's true. They
I just
are
don't-
giant.
I
Yeah.
just don't look
actually,
that
that's
way.
what I like about them.
You like it? You like big girl, huh? Yeah. No, I
Well,
remember.
see, there's levels to it.
Sure.
There's certain girls you look at and go, I could tussle with that one.
Sure. Oh no,
I
I've
mean,
seen.
if he's hot enough, I will die by snoo, no problem.
Fair enough. I know I've seen some pretty Samoan girls, but they are very
Oh, yeah.
large. Yeah, they're very tall. They're
But yeah,
very
just
very
because
tall.
not because of the physical features, just how big they are. It's like
They
it's
are
kinda
huge,
Like,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
No, I remember one time in Hawaii, I was in the elevator. My wife opened up, and a Samoan lady walked in, and she towered over me. And I hardly ever see anyone who's even my height when I walk around the planet. It's rare, particularly here in Asia. But she must have been 7 foot tall, dude. Must have been, right? Just big, tall lady. But she wasn't bad looking, though. She was just really tall. So, Anyway, I really need to go. So I got to do my job, and I'll have to fix the mic later. But I think I figured out what the problem is. So I should have it done by the art show this week. And your mic's working just fine. You've had no problems at all, Alan.
Hey,
So what is going
cross
on
my fingers.
on the art show?
It might be when I turn on when I share my screen with the art. When I share my art, I think that might be jumbling up the system.
Maybe.
You know what I'm talking
But-
about? When I share.
Yeah, just
Maybe.
do it
That's my guess.
like I've been doing here. Just do a search for what your problem is, and the AI will help you out.
It could have been an update that I didn't have too.
maybe
I did do a little update not too long ago.
because I updated the firmware for these headphones last night, and I thought that'd fix it, but it wouldn't. But I think I figured it out. But the thing that's great about the AI on the searches now is because all the AI is doing is organizing and directing you to the right page you need to go to get your information. That's all it's doing. And that's very handy. It's kind of like the Dewey Decimal System. I like it. Yeah. Anyway, Grimlock, you got anything to say to the folks before I get out of here?
Man, April was 2 days away. We are past the quarter mark.
What? Say it again?
We have passed the quarter mark of the year. April
yeah.
is here.
April's here.
And it's,
Yeah.
And it's pollen season. Curse the demon plant come.
Oh, right. Well, here in Japan, the pollen season starts around January, February. My wife is just getting over it because she has bad cedar allergy. Luckily, I have none. Do you have any allergies, Alan?
I used to be allergic to cats, but now I am not. So, and I think I got past my pork sensitivity stage. I ate a pulled pork sandwich last night, and it was delicious, and I came out great.
Pork allergy. I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, for a while there, I was sensitive to pork, and I don't know what was happening, but I think I pushed through it. You alive?
Oh, there we go. Okay, I screwed that up.
I'm like, oh, did he die?
No, I'm all right. Yeah, no, but you can be allergic to anything, I guess. So, but for the most part, the best way to get rid of an allergy is to literally expose yourself to it. But unfortunately, with certain allergies, that's death. So, but
Yeah.
the best way to get rid
Yeah,
of an allergy.
I can't push past shrimp. Oh yeah, I'm allergic to shrimp. Forgot.
Yeah, I mean, certain things are just deadly and you can't do it. But usually, if you can stomach it or handle it, exposure will get rid of the allergy. It just is what it is. It's like all these idiots keep saying they need gluten-free, they're allergic to gluten. No, you're not. You're just a moron.
Oh,
Yeah. There's no such thing.
There's a theory on that, though. There is a theory on that. In the States, our crop is so genetically modified that it's not that you're allergic to gluten, you're allergic to super gluten, which everyone should be allergic to.
Maybe.
Because the modification is too intense for human consumption.
Maybe. That's possible. They do mess with stuff before they understand it. That's very true.
Yeah.
I'm pretty lucky.
So not
in that
natural gluten. Because you can buy pasta from Italy and it wouldn't do it won't hurt you.
Right, which is what I do, actually. The thing about Japan that's kind of interesting in that regard is the Japanese are kind of boutique everything. You know what I mean? They tend not to buy. You don't see a lot of generic things that just move around. The Japanese tend to, with everything, food especially, they tend to be very boutique. Now, of course, that means they eat less and their meals are smaller, but their meals tend to be much higher quality because of it, right? And of course, eating smaller meals means you have less fat people, right? But yeah, all my I use what is it? What does Junko use? Diceco, I think it's called, but all of it's from Italy. For pasta, we eat a lot of pasta. All the rice is made here in Japan, and you can't use chemicals and stuff on your rice. Japanese will get absolutely out of their mind with it. So yeah, just by default, living in Japan, I eat healthier, just by default, right? But America, these Monsanto and these other groups, they go too far. Anyway, I got to go. So thank you all very much. I'm glad everything else with the headphones are working though, because I can hear just fine, and you can hear me. You said it's very clear.
yep.
Yeah. So everything's good. I just got to get the voice in my head, which I did, but then it had a delay, but there's a way to fix that. So I'll see you guys on Saturday. Not Saturday. I guess your Thursday for the art show. We're still in hiatus for Bugbear's Basement. As I said, I haven't seen any communications yet from anyone on what's going to happen or what's going on. Any of you listening and you want to tell me what we're going to run or something like that, just let me know. Just send me a DM, please. If not, if I don't hear anything for a couple weeks, I'll just start something myself. But I actually am not minding a little bit of hiatus. I'm a busy person, so. But thank you very much.
Namaste for you.
What do you say? Go ahead.
I got a namaste for you. Just
go
keep
ahead.
The tradition going.
Yeah.
It's actually from Harry Potter. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.
Namaste.
Yay.
Later, everybody.